JDG get the amount of points that they did. They find them all in the mid game. They just get scrappy. They clean everybody up. They're cockroaches. They survive till the end every single time. And JDG went from a decent game to a great game. For fun, get a full wipe here on main, as unfortunately Master 5K and co go down.
They move into the bowling alley. They get rid of Orchid. And they're starting to find some space into the circle. Late rotation from the anchor player of For Fun. He's still not in there, and he's got to be worried because in the church it's going to be NIP working now. You might get caught on rotation by these three.
Let's listen in as they rotate in to see if they can get there safely.
Left! It's only one guy, bro. Bro, just... Oh my god, man.
I'm weak. They're running back, good.
They're running back, we'll have white,
Get the fight, someone get the fight. One is on top of this white, by the way.
One's on top of bank. Can you get these weak?
I mean, I don't know, they're up top.
One kid's top white, these kids are second floor.
I might die here, by the way, now that I think about it.
He's peeking me, by the way. I'm inside. Once this up, holding on me now.
Come, we can take bank. There's only one guy bank. Come.
I can't cross, there's two guys
Yeah, you can come from here. Come from outside.
It's my front bit then, yeah?
I can't. You can get shot from white.
Look my door.
Look my bro.
How much you got to do?
Look my door. Come, get shot in the back.
Come, cross bank now.
I need plates as well, boys, I need plates.
Okay. The bank.
Good job.
Great comms there from NIP, able to communicate intel very quickly. It's very clear comms to allow them to play a little bit more patient. They didn't rush this rotation. They got their intel, they zoned off their opponents, and they've made their way to closing in on New. But the New has moved even farther southwest, down to gazebos.
Well, it's Godlike and Gooey that have the bridges. For Fun want to take on Godlike, who are underneath. Leviathan sitting in the water, and it's going to be G2 to the gazebo. So a late rotation from NIP. They're going to find some battles on the way in versus Gentlemates. And on top of that, it's going to be JDG still alive. So some big teams to worry about.
Yeah, definitely some big teams. G2, we haven't seen much of them, but they've been slowly but surely chipping away at this lobby. Vidati tries to get a little cheeky. Melvin says, yeah, peek your head back out of the water one more time, guff. Bye-bye, Melvin with the 5th. And here goes the Gentlemates, found their way to a nice building. Gas station inside. It's going to be a great position for them for New. Need to just wait on this zone. As long as they don't get cut down by some freak line that they didn't expect, they can just hold here for a while. NIP, a solid building as well. Everybody going to be waiting on this New zone. We've got 18 still. We're looking for the next multiplier top 5.
Still some opportunities to buy back if you need to late game, but that's a gazebo pull, so that is not good for NIP and Gentlemates. Both of them will have to fight each other to get in line.
I would argue that it is actually okay for Gentlemates just because they can hold NIP, but you're right, the problem is, look at where G2 is. That's the zone. You just got to go to a gazebo. So once Gentlemates win this engagement in the NIP, if NIP try to go through them, where do you go? Out into the open?
NIP
into
are going to swing it. They're going to go for fun. They're going to try to wrap around, go for the bridge, and see if you can third-party these squads on gazebo.
Godlike, where else would you expect to see them but in the water? And actually with a ton of kills, Intex on 6 with plenty of assists for his team. Means these guys have been battling for their lives in the water for a while, but back to G2 because these guys have been holding the power position, but a huge swing coming from JDG. They know how to win, they know how to make top 5, and one way to do that is to get on top of the gazebo, get to WinCon, and take it over. Leviathan go down in 8.
Leviathan go down, Showstoppers out, NIP in trouble, For Fun in trouble, and JDG has positioning inside. They're forcing everybody to the gas.
Anxiety on 6, not a banger game, but a great one. Down go For Fun. They needed the multiplier. They had a decent map going. This was their zone to win, playing just outside of this. They worked their way down. They've been here for a while and unfortunately won't get the 1.4x. Here comes NIP. Get cut down. JDG lose 1, but then they take down Godlike. Up to top 5. Gentlemate's still in it, but JDG doing well.
Godlike's gone. King AJ's down. JDG are holding them. Gentlemate's behind them. And you see G2's actually going to make their rotation behind Gentlemates. See if they can find some positioning towards the top.
New zone. Creeps a little bit further north. Gentlemates only had 1 and they get the double buyback. You hear the crowd excited about that one, and unfortunately G2 a little bit lost in the sauce, getting shot from multiple angles. Wasn't expecting what? Inkyo up on high, Hollow with a little bit of help. Gentlemates have restabilized somehow, some way, being allowed to fly back in.
NIP are out.
G2 doing the same though. G2 pick up a second. Big fight, Inkyo finding 1, Melvin cut down. JDG, who are in the power position. Unfortunately, the zone pull punishes them, and FLS is going to have to be a hero. Down goes Gooey. G2, Gentlemates, JDG, Gentlemates versus G2. Can they go back-to-back? First map wins. An unbelievable regain, and the Gentlemates get the zone pull as well. It's inevitable at this point. The hometown heroes get the buff, and the hometown heroes are on top.
Day one kicks off with the mates. Day two, same thing, same map. The Gentle Sweets are on their feet, and the crowd couldn't be more happy for these three players. And realistically, this is just continuously looking like Gentlemates leveling up on land. The way that they handle the regain, the way they burst G2 towards the end. No oversend, the double buyback. You hold the roof, you box out JDG to make sure G2 have that early rotation. All you gotta do is take care of the monsters in your closet, and you handle what's ahead of you. What a play from Gentlemates. What a way to start your day.
So much we could talk about in that map. The main piece, of course, Gentlemates winning, but they do it. You gotta remember, they start in cold. They traverse the entire map to get to the win cons. They traversed the entire map, and they did it by battling to zone, battling to zone. Teams were holding them over and over and over again, and they somehow, some way, still made it through. One way that it helped is they did work their way through Main Street, a lot of cover there, and they were just sneaky, man. They were able to play through their cover very well. Here's the final moment. Ankyo able to get the one over the top. Unfortunately, G2 getting shot by JDG at the same time. Put them in a bit of a blender, but then Hollow wins the one down below, and unfortunately, Sight, a fantastic player, not going to win a 1v2 against a hot Gentlemates team.
Yeah, let alone a 1v3 if you did get that res back in late. Yeah, I mean, Gentlemates not only had to take on G2, the number 3 team coming into Group B on day 2, but you also had to fight through AG Global, the number 5 team, NIP, the number 2 team, and JDG, the number 1 team. All top 5 squads that we have from Group B meet the path of Gentlemates and meet their timely demise. So that is major for the confidence of these 3.
They've come out in droves for the second half of the day. Group B, Gentlemates feeling fantastic. To temper expectations a bit, this is the way they started yesterday as well. I'll be very curious to see what their scores ended up being. Great wherewithal to get that double buyback as well in the late zone. Gentlemates can't pull that off if they don't get that buy.
I mean, it was a first place on day 1, followed by a 9th place, and then a 6th and a 14th. So it's just continuously keeping that consistency.
Of course, all eyes on Hisoka and the Falcons. Gentlemates see it as well, and they give him a quick boo because, well, frankly, maybe a little bit of boo will get some fire in their bellies because, my goodness, what a play. Such a high IQ play, honestly, from the Vicious. I don't know if it was a coach call, an IGL call, or what, but to know for a fact that the Falcons were going to go back to boat and just ego challenge them and then win, I mean, that right there is somebody trying to prove that they're the top team in not only their region, but also here on main stage. Folks, we're going to check out some quick content, take a look at what's going on in the scenes. We'll be back with the second Haven Hollow map.
The human body was built to move. Not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan EVO. Ergonomically engineered for you, gamers, hybrid workers, artists, backing your every move.
He thinks he can come in here and play my game. He knows nothing but go!
Tyler 1, you're done.
Huh, that's... probably need to talk to Almond from Twisted Minds.
Well, I'm not the man to ask about that. You're going to have to go to Almond if you want to know.
Players go up and down.
You should talk to Almond about that info. Almond's got all the tea.
Which camera?
1926. Miles and Enigma here in the preamble for drop number 2. Everyone seems to be having a really good time. It's a fun one here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, the crowd's here bringing the passion, bringing the love for their teams. Support coming in, whether it be the Falcon super fans on our right, the Gentle Suits off in the corner, or the team Vidati lovers here on our left-hand side as well. So much here in Paris, France.
Well, great energy. What do we need more, though, from that first drop? A tough exit for the Falcons early on, mate.
It is, and this is something that they have never seen on land. They're under pressure, they're being contested, they've lost an air of aura, an element of invincibility, and everyone now is willing to send it to them and really try and turn the screw, essentially, and they're suffering.
I mean, the question there remains, you take an early exit like that, does it give you a little bit more, or does it start to chip away at that godlike confidence?
Well, that's the question that they've got to answer out there. You'd hope that they would stand up tall, stick their chests out, and come out swinging, but every single time that they see an early exit, more questions, more doubts enter the mind.
I mean, the highlights here on your screen, it's been a very, very spicy first drop. And again, Genomates, a brilliant win. What a result for them, given the position from yesterday as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as well, it comes from a long rotation from Genomates as well, something that they have not necessarily done consistently well in the past. We talked a lot about the kind of suffering that Falcons went through. Yesterday's zones were really against them, but this time it's kind of like for them. The Genomates are almost doing what the Falcons should be doing, rotating well, clean comms, clearing out the gas. Great stuff out of them, and that's exactly what some of these other teams need to look to build upon for this afternoon.
Still plenty of games to go here in Group B. Well, what a wonderful start. A spicy final circle as well. Maybe high-level thoughts about water here in the Resurgence world?
Honestly, I could do with less of it, to be completely honest with you. I'd love to see more people having to fight on land, and as well with the new update, the velocity of the bullet's very different. Some of the players trying to adjust into that. But yeah, the less swimmers, the better.
It's a tricky situation for so many of our players to find ourselves in, but hey, we see the final kill here from Halo. Genomates walking away with a big win. Might get a look at the standings in a moment, but either way, we know those sort of boys way up the board. Falcons as well, trailing away. What a tough result for them. So we will see, guys. Still plenty of games to play, but make early predictions for the second drop.
The Falcons come out hot. I think they instantly recognize the Vicious are going to land on them. They set up for that, and the way they often do it is they'll delay one of their players coming in to set up a triangle of death around one of them and isolate them. I think they'll do that and then get themselves on the move.
It's all about the angles, all about the angles. The fans here, everyone is having such a good time. Are we having a good time, friends? We having fun? Me too. Falcon super fans to our right, surrounded by passionate French God.
They've lost us, they're gone, we're amongst the madness.
We're gone! I'm not even sure if the game's ready.
All right, thank you so much, Miles, and, well, Enigma as well, and frankly, the fans, because the fans made that segment fantastic. Holy cow. We got fans all over the place and from all over the place, and that's what I love about EWC here, Seymour. Really cool to see fans for Orchid, Vidati, and everybody sitting next to Miles and Co.
I never thought I'd see Enigma in a different French crowd than the Genomates. I'll be honest.
Sure.
I think they have to have some words right there. But no, I think that it's great to see the crowd turn up. As always, we love to see it. And they brought up some really, really good conversations there, both Enigma and Miles. And the big one is the godlike personality that the Falcons do have is starting to get chipped away. And who would have thought that the boogeyman in their closet was another meta organization in Team Vicious coming through, shutting them down. I mean, Falcons coming into this game too is going to be a huge question because in the last 4 games, they have a 10th place, a 10th place, a 16th place, and a 15th place. They are hitting nothing.
Well, don't ring the alarm bells yet. The Falcons have not gone through every single qualifier without a couple frustrating points. So this isn't totally, out of left field for them, but definitely something they can come back from and could potentially just turn this whole leaderboard on its head in a blink of an eye.
But it's even the wins they had yesterday. Their first place win, the second win that they had was only 10 kills. Like, even when they do win, they're not getting many points behind it. It's the reason why they're outside of top 5. It's just doesn't look like the same Falcons.
Sure, totally fair. I think worth mentioning, we haven't taken a look at the leaderboard yet, but from what I can see, the Falcons actually haven't moved in place. They're still in 7th place. Some of the folks behind them are slowly but surely catching them, now a little bit closer to them than before. But it's time to get into the map, folks. Havens Hollow, the second time we'll see it here for Group B, and the last time we'll see it for Group B. The next time you see Havens Hollow, it will be in the Survivor stage tomorrow. So let's get it and see where we're going. Back to research, a repeat of Game 2 yesterday in Group B, and the Falcons totally changing their drop spot. Where are they going? Back to Mansion. It's a north side zone.
To NIP. See if NIP can continue to own this house. Big question for a pull like this is going to be G2, because yesterday their lumber spot was free, but their rotation to Mansion was troublesome. Both times that they went there, it just wasn't clicking. Now they're actually being contested down in lumbers. So let's see if they can take on the new Icons who are looking for a different home.
Well, with enough questions about the Falcons and early problems, let's do a quick listen in at the very beginning of this game at Mansion.
Listen, we're also close to Lodi as well.
I mean, you're right. Hold on. I'll hit up the crate. I'm out right now?
Alright, I'm on your kitchen subs. I'm on your kitchen subs.
Swing it to you now, Chris.
Yeah. I went up kitchen subs.
Yeah. Alright, they found the counter small. They're literally fucking stuck small.
I found a PA too. I found a PA.
Fucking scared. I just got a bag.
We get Lodi.
More money only. I'm looking for more money. We get a UE too.
You want to play the front or the back?
We can play. I mean, bro. I got the back. Here. Play the back. One more. We have it. We have it. Start wrapping back. Go to the back. Go to the back. You got to set up again. Then we got to reset up.
All right.
Yeah, it looks like they haven't even taken any fucking space.
I'm waiting kitchen. I'm waiting kitchen.
I'm here with you. I'm
following me up.
They're tweaking. Drop money behind you. Off the top.
Okay, I dropped. Here, I'm shouldering out or small. Nothing in the small room.
Go. I'm ready.
Here, let's go S1.
You never drop money. You guys never drop money.
Here. Nothing S1. Could be S2 though. Here, I dropped you money as well.
Okay, I'm gonna peek S2. I'll jump down.
It's funny when we see Falcons kind of setting up. They want the back of this Mansion, and NIP are happy to give it to them. NIP just want a kill box set up around the Falcons so they can't leave.
Yeah, a decent listen-in for sure as they get prepared, but of course we have to turn our eyes to other fights, and the main one on the screen right now, the Vicious. They don't have the Falcons to fight for, so where do they go? They actually headed over to Colt. So Solds, Adrenaline, Brett, they want, yes, the Falcons, but they want the Gentlemates as well. Sol's trying to hunt them down right now. This team trying to play spoiler to everybody else to project themselves up the leaderboard. Did well at the beginning of last map. They went down fairly early though, and they go for the kill, and nice trades there from the Gentlemates. They'll get it. Really well played together as one. The fragger for the Vicious goes out. Solds doesn't get anything for it, but they're safe. They're in servers. They're hanging out over at Research. They're gonna be chilling here for a while, and the Gentlemates have Cole for free, so far so good for these guys.
And you might have the head-to-head versus the Falcons. Gentlemates, different team, different approach. Not going to be the same, but you do have that anchor, like you said. The regain's going to look good. AG Global, not the greatest game one. Another team that kind of felt their demise to the Gentlemates. They're going to be sitting at the barn. They have the rotation actually from Levy a ton to worry about, and KGV there as well. GUI trying to hold them off. Will be a late rotation from JDG, so there's actually a lot of traffic that's going to come from the barn. It means that AG Global, they don't want to waste resources on these latent fights.
Kazu isolated. Actually, the entire team of KGV isolated.
Yeah.
Get one here, that'd be nice. At least clean it up. No, can't even get FIFA kill. It's gonna be a quick pickup. Nice pickup there from AGAL. An extra point to their tally, and no more throwing from the side over here as they move their way to Trainwreck. Third will be flying in. There they are, all three together. Bang. And so we turn our eyes across the bow to Barn, like you mentioned. We can see Leviathan get there, and mostly for free. The rest of KGV, look at that, Vidati hiding inside. Well, Leviathan move their way forward and try to put their anchor safe in Barn and then go play. They see a couple folks down below, so they're gonna try to win this engagement to clear out this side of the map.
It's gonna be fun. I mean, we had so many teams in research yesterday for that game too, and it's looking to be the exact same thing. A lot of teams trying to find themselves into the circle. You see that Leviathan now in the barn, holding off on JDG, who are actually just down to one. JDG in a little bit of an issue, so Leviathan have an opportunity to start climbing their way out of that elimination spot, and they want to do it through Barn.
Quick look at our map. You do see G2 in that light blue, number 4 now on main. They've been playing through Lumber. They're gonna have to work their way through Gentlemates. This is the classic fight that we usually see between Gentlemates and G2. If they're forced to move north, G2 have to go through the Gentlemates. Gentlemates are gonna hold the line and try to hold a team that is near them on the leaderboard.
They've been winning this one. Past day and game. We ended with Gentlemates versus G2, and it looks like they're going to have to get through there. There goes Team Vicious. Orchid going to be the ones to eliminate them inside of Research. So Zariel and Co have to find themselves a way in. They're trying to look through with their battles, but they lose the rookie and they lose Sleepy as well. So what's going on here for Orchid? It's just another fumble inside.
Yeah, a big fight for the inside of Mansion. Or sorry, Research Center. Research can hold so many teams like we saw yesterday. But which level do you take? And which teams can you take down? We've actually got more folks on the outside than usual because it actually looks like Fnatic have found kills inside.
Haven't seen anything come out of Mansion. I don't know what's going on with NIP Falcons and Nemesis, because it just seems like nobody wants to make a move over there.
Yeah.
You remember in that game 2 is where Falcons actually got the train tracks and won that game.
Look on the right-hand side. This is your leaderboard as of current, okay? So JDG still leading the charge. Gentlemate still top 5. AGA
currently
still
streaming
top 5.
on
About
2
the
different
same,
platforms.
Even at the end of last map, JDG only a couple points away from that metric of success in Group A. I think they need 4 points to tie 5th place from Group A at the end of 11.
We have a full desktop stream and we have a vertical stream going on. So
trying to push into Godlike on the outside of the fences. Good damage there, but haven't found the knock just yet. Finally, Scummin gets it done. Still looking for the regain, looking to see if he can wipe them. Gentlemates just got wiped. G2, it was anxiety to finish that one off. A lot of contesting going on through the edge of the circle as teams are trying to find their positions.
Yeah, we've been paying attention to this Research fight for long enough that G2 and Gentlemates fight just overcooked a little bit. Gentlemates lose 1, they lose their fragger up front, and G2 pedal to the metal and swing into Cole and take charge of it. Quick look at him. There's G2, south side Cole. Complete control of the Cole side. If this does pull out of Research, this zone will dictate a ton of rotations. And it's going to go dead center of New. So Research still in it, Cole still in it. G2 going to hold the line on the south side of the zone.
And my eyes are going to be on AG Global, because this is the exact position AG Global have that won the Falcons that game yesterday. So will the Falcons go try to take them away? Gonna have to wait and see as Gooey's getting set.
JDG, as per the usual, playing spoiler and playing cockroaches on the map. They were down to a solo a moment ago, but that's resurgence, baby. They're back, and they're slapping Vidati and Co. around, and with the help of a mirror over the top, PA comes through, and it looks like Vidati's team have lost their place on the map, and it looks like lost their place in the lobby. They're going to be headed back out of this game.
13 trios.
Uh-oh. For fun, gone as well. Can't get anything going today. And definitely a position of trouble as we look at Research.
And just like that, we're down to 11. So, trying to get into the top 10 now for these squads. As we got 16 seconds before that circle starts to close. AG Global still holding the top side of Research. Both NIP and Falcons have yet to leave the mansion. Nemesis are going to actually try to gatekeep them from the courtyard. And you got Leviathan versus JDG over towards the bridges trying to cross that river. So lots of fights happening in transition right now.
A nice full swing here by Noobs. Great play from the Falcons to clean up 2/3 of NIP. And like you mentioned, it's the battle for the mansion side and who's holding who. Fire sale active, potentially NIP could get everybody back, but no. Limax, spray, hunt him down. NIP out of this lobby, confirmed the Falcons moving up to their former win condition.
I was going to say, and this is where AG Global may have overstepped a little bit. They move away from the top of the hill into Research. Might be expecting the circle to pull down to Cole. They don't want to have to worry about the Falcons and try to fight them. They're just waiting to see where the circle goes.
Yeah, it's a good call. I think AG could have stayed and tried to hold that. With so much open spaces and likely not going to be a northern side zone, that I don't mind this play from AG to get inside and play for multi. We're into the first multi, 1.2x on board. G2 still holding the south at Cole. Nobody's getting past them yet, nor do they want to. Patience here for Leviathan. Again, they needed to start hot, and they've had a mediocre kickoff. They need a lot of kills, and when you see a guy like Z-Dark, unbelievable fragger in his own right on 1 kill. Leviathan, hardly anything to their name. JDG finally go down in a top 10 position, 10th overall. It's their worst placement throughout the course of all the games that they've played here in Group B. Getting cut down much earlier than usual.
Luckily, they have a good buffer between first and second place, so should be able to afford a bad game here in game number 2. Gonna have to wait to see how that affects the standings. Falcons have themselves positioned to the top of the bridge. Nemesis have moved away from the mansion. Leviathan on the west side of their own hold. It's G2 comfortable to the bottom of Coal Depot and Godlike between Research and G2.
Yeah, holding a bit of a line there, continues to creep its way south, but this is one of those zones that it's going to be very difficult for these players to read of where the next one will pull to. The Falcons still very comfortable on the north side, are actually going to go chow
Nemesis
Limax and Bray. Nemesis in deep trouble as Ahsoka's able to find one, and he's going to get really active here to try to find a second. It's actually a bit of help with Leviathan finding Bray. Limax fold as well. So with that, one player left for Nemesis up in the air, and Leviathan maybe overstepped a bit. Amir gets caught out in transition. Ahsoka finds another. That's 5.
5 for Hisoka yesterday. Tough game, tough day for himself. He only had 11 kills at the end of day 1, so it's good to see Hisoka showing up here for the squad. Dongi's going to eliminate Leviathan in top 9 for game number 2. And they're holding the edge of the circle. They're getting pushed by G2.
A big fight between G2 and the Falcons. They're both going to chow this. Anxiety pushing up. They want this win condition. If the zone pulls their direction, this is the battle for the win con, but no, it pulls dead center. It's going to be right on top of Orchid's head. We'll get to that in a moment because the fight at hand is a big one. The Falcons desperately trying to claw their way back into the top 5, but big man strikes first. Ahsoka goes down. A lot of chatter. Need to stand on their words. Ahsoka being full, noobs swinging around trying to find big man. They can't even get him. Finally, somebody gets him. It's not even Ahsoka. It's Knight from the off angle. Dongi gets gunned. G2 are going to win this fight. It's all up to noobs, and now he's just trying to self-revive. The Falcons go down in 7th.
And G2 have the bridge. AG Global are looking to leave Research, see if they can go for G2 and take the high ground right now. I was wondering who's going to leave Research first, and AG, they want this.
It's a great shout from G2, but AGAL, this is the map they wanted to have last time this zone was here, and they couldn't get it going. We heard it in the interview. They said everything was going right until one bad move. I made a mistake, says FIFA Kill. This time, will they fix that error and win the engagements? No, Scumming gets cut down a little bit too aggressive without the help of Knight. So they can't wipe all of G2. A swing, Scumming fold, and now AGAL looks like down to a solo on the rock. It's going to be Knight trying to be the hero. One goes down, got to win the 1v2 on the outside. While on the inside, Godlike is holding the line. Godlike, nearly non-existent yesterday. Godlike is wiping teams left, right, and center. His anxiety is putting on a show. Knight goes down. It's going to be G2. It's going to be Godlike in a big engagement. And Godlike have the best position by a mile.
Gotta find somewhere to stay, somewhere to regain, and you're gonna find yourself a corner. Knight still alive. He's looking for Godlike on the edge, though.
Top 5.
And Godlike have a full trio. They're in the best position to take game 2.
This is a map Godlike desperately needed to win, and Knight turns, burns, picks up 2. Gets it to a top 2 position, but Knight gets cut down. Godlike, it took him a while, but a big map from folks that frankly a lot of teams were talking some smack about. Trick Empathy, a star, this time gets the help he needs. That's a big win for a team that desperately needed it.
That's big for the program. And when I mean program, I mean it. Group B just being competitive, top to bottom. We got Leviathan really stepping up today in Haven's Hollow yet again. And now Godlike as well. Having both of them turn up means that teams have to be worried at the bottom of this leaderboard. Is his early changes paying off? And with Godlike coming out in game 2 for a win, that 1.6 times multiplier is going to be major.
Biggest question in my mind is how many kills. I saw their name a ton. You got to remember, this is a team, I said they desperately needed it. Folks, they were in 15th place. They had 43 points through 6 games. They might have pushed up to well beyond that, even in 1. Ridiculous.
They may have just doubled it.
Yeah, Knight had some great plays here to stay alive for AGAL. That is a top 5 finish for AGAL, so they're doing a fantastic job to be top 5 overall in the group stages still. But Godlike pick up a crazy amount of points. That's got to be at least 30 points in total with a 1.6, if not a couple more than that. Really well done from guys. I think these guys went to the lab, frankly. I think they went to the lab, they watched their VODs, and they said, this is a map, this is a zone that we can't lose.
Looks like Godlike are actually going to be sitting at 91 points after that one. So yeah, that is a huge buff for this team. And they're kind of having graces of top teams starting to falter a little bit in these rotations because Well, you had, you know, Orchid doing well, but, you know, Gentlemates went down pretty early. G2 made sure of that. NIP didn't really get too much because they were getting actually contested by the Falcons. Both of them stayed in Mansion for quite a while. And with NIP getting held, Falcons going down on the bridge, and JDG going down early means that these middle pack teams in Group B are really going to be starting to push up to that 5th place, push up to that 6th place. A lot of pressure right now on these teams that we expect to be at the top.
I agree. Tank, give us a flex. There it is, my man. Soak his dag, cheering him on, man. The Falcons need it. Again, had a solid map. In their mind, I'm sure they were frustrated, but that's a solid map from them. They had solid kills. They're still maintaining a position in the top 7 or so. I think they've just barely breached over triple digits in total score. They're in a fine spot. Any other team would be like, hey, nice job, guys. But it's because the Falcons, they were like, what is going on right now? Still got a multiplier, still got some kills, so great job from them. But again, I really like what Godlike did there. Change things up, usually land way down in gazebos. They swing over to the new zone, able to hold the power position, get the zone pull. Folks, get ready. Rebirth Island coming right at you, and here in just a moment, you're not going to want to miss it.
Mesdames et messieurs, on est avec les fans de Gentlemates. We're here with the Gentlemates fan guy in the middle of everybody. I'm gonna try to ask them some questions. So yo, bon, ça s'est bien passé, première game exceptionnelle là.
Ah ouais, nickel.
Yeah, first game is kind of insane. What do you think about what happened today? What's gonna happen for the next game coming? Qu'est-ce que tu penses qui va se passer pour les games qui suivent?
En français?
Comme tu veux.
NKO, il a tweeté ce matin qu'il allait revenir en Thanos Prime.
Oh, NKO just tweeted this morning. It is Thanos Prime, so basically it's gonna be easy.
Oh la la la! Oh la la la!
NKO!
Oh la la la!
I'm gonna try to play a little bit of a drum. Follow me. Oh, 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 oh. Il va me coacher. Il va me coacher. Je vais jouer du. On fait quoi? Je vous suis.
On fait cette pute.
C'est la meilleure. Je veux dire ça, tu veux.
Oh non! Tu me dis quand t'es prêt, Lucie.
Ok, vas-y.
T'as bien au milieu,
Je suis prêt. Quand tu veux, BG.
C'est la meilleure tribu du championnat. Au Gentleman, on chantera pour toi. Obsédés par la même idée. Allez jouer pour tous ces retournés. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. C'est la meilleure tribu du championnat.
The drum did break. That's funny as hell.
Obsédés par la même idée. Allez jouer pour tous ces retournés.
Talk about digging your way out of the trenches. Leviathan, I mean, they were in that bottom 3. They were looking at having their keys crushed and also their dreams. But obviously somewhere along the way, I hold shift, they were able to move up 5 spots.
Yeah, I mean, this team was cooking with some gas in the scrims leading up to this event, and then yesterday happens, and you're sitting there like,
what do we?
Bro, amigos, que pasa? Now all of a sudden, they're frying again. They're getting the kill participation, they're getting good zone control, they're playing better. Is it good enough? We'll find out.
And talk about doing better. Godlike as well, doing that same kind of chemistry and being able to come out with that banger game in match number 2. And I mean, this is exactly what we expect from these squads, sitting in that middle leaderboard, because it's incredibly close there as well.
Yeah, I mean, expectations are interesting when you talk about the teams that aren't in your main focus, because it's been like moments, flashes, but not consistency. For Godlike, that's a great first 2 maps on Havens. They may not have come away with the win in map number 1, but they had a great kill tally. I think they finished somewhere in the top 10, so they get the multiplier, and now you get a little bit more of that buffer. Not Bruce buffer, but buffer nonetheless.
A little bit of a buffer there, and I mean, this is exactly what we expect from them. But of course, you know, we both want to talk about a particular team, and that is G2. Anxiety has awoken, I hold shift.
Yeah, I mean, you called it. That was your team to watch. It was one of my hot takes that they would finish top 3 in their group, and so far, they have played immaculately. Love to see that. And Gentlemen's on top of that, very close to us here. They're vibing. They're ready to go for the next time 3.
And let's hold that they can hold this on for the rest of the matches. But I think we've got Barney holding on the other end of the line. What's he up to?
Welcome back. Welcome back to Dad Chat. We are chatting with some more dads out here in the incredible arena. There we go. We're coming through the PX system now. Let's go. Welcome to Dad Chat. I've got Olivier joining me here. Hello, my good sir. This is Gromaloc's dad. So, Olivier, let's talk a little bit about Gromaloc. Tell me about his early years in gaming. Did you always know he was going to go pro?
At the beginning, we were a little afraid. I'm a father, so I don't understand everything. But after, I have to learn, I understand, and I support him now.
Yeah, I mean, like, understanding esports is one of the, you know, I talk to a lot of dads in the crowds. When we go to a lot of these events, there's always dads here cheering on, but they never quite understood, you know, the scale of esports from the very beginning. So now do you feel like you're fully up to speed?
Now we support him, and Valentin, Groma, on est tous derrière toi. Tous les copains sont là, la famille, on t'aime!
Let's go, gentlemen, here we go. Now it's time to head over to our casters to get us into map number 3.
Thank you so much, Barney. The dad chat goes crazy. I like that. Let's find some more dads in the chat here, folks. If you're a dad in the chat watching EWC, let us know as well. Now, Seymour, we're moving to Rebirth Island. Is there anything on your mind moving into a new map / very, very old map that maybe could change some things? The first thing that comes to mind for me, Leviathan. I know our desk was hyping him up. I think it's fair to hype him up, but it is the exact same thing that they did yesterday. It came out hot in Havens Hollow. My charge and my challenge was you've got to carry that momentum into some of these other maps. Rebirth Island's next. What can Leviathan do on this map?
Leviathan needs to keep up. Yes, that is first and foremost. Next up to kind of talk about is going to be AG Global, because AG Global were running Rebirth Island yesterday. So can they do that once again? They had a 27 kill game on this map. So to do that again would be great for the program of AGAL, NIP. Can they continue their consistency that we saw yesterday through each map that we had now that we go to Rebirth Island once again? And then, of course, Falcons, man, like, they need to regain at some point, because it's just, again, it's different.
Yeah, I mean, they still got a little work to do. Rebirth Island is technically on paper their weakest map, but I think paper has kind of gone out the window when it comes to EWC and playing on land. So as we move into Rebirth Island, a lot of charges and challenges, but you got to remember that there's 2 different bubbles. We're playing for a top 5 position, and we're playing to not be a bottom 3 team. And with that, you talk Godlike, they go from 14th to 8th. That's how close the margins are. One banger map can change your fate and potentially put you in a position to keep playing even into tomorrow or the following days. But with that in mind, JDG, they dropped their weakest game yet. The margin for first place versus second is razor thin. So let's get into Rebirth Island. A lot of storylines to follow, and what I'm really excited to see is who is dropping where. And frankly, are the Vicious going to Chemical to take down the Falcons? Like, what's going on?
That is something to pay attention to. G2. Do they go to Bio? Can they continue to put some pressure on AGAL, who goes Turbine? And AGAL, will they have Turbine for free yet again for fun? Have not been contesting them in that area. It looks like it. They don't want to have anything to do with AGAL.
Well, Godlike getting contested on boat and quickly taken care of. Looks like Nemesis, who is very weak now. Only one player remaining who's deep into the water, already swimming. So Godlike, you got control of your boat. Nice job. Now do you go play for Patrol Center with your fraggers? If AGAL AGAL don't have anything to say about it from Turbine. But let's swing over to the Gentlemates. What's going on? They usually land living quarters, and that's exactly what's happened. But Gromelot gets really active with Aikyo. Gonna go try to take down this Leviathan squad. This is the same story as yesterday. Gentlemates played spoiler to Leviathan. Can they do it again? Gromelot's gonna get the challenge, and Aikyo's gonna try to follow it up, and they're able to trade maybe one, but Hollow way off to the distance, trying to get one more.
All of a sudden, Hollow alone. So I was about to say, yeah, this is exactly what happened to Leviathan. Same exact story. They just never were able to regain as soon as Gentlemates were on their tail here in Stronghold. They're going to have to fight against Nemesis. Amir's going to clean it up, but this is scrappy in the Strongholds to start this day.
Gentlemates still looking for some extra points. So the Fraggers, they fly back in, and they go get back into the weirdness. Because, again, Stronghold's one of those positions that a lot, especially when it's in zone, which it currently is, Gromelot finds another. This is a place where the regainers go. Nemesis got obliterated at the boat by Godlike. So they said, okay, if I can't go to the boat and I don't want to swim in the water the entire game, let me go to Stronghold and see if I can pick up some freebies. We did that last time. Leviathan weren't shooting. Deus Amir's shooting right now. Watch out. Levi in trouble. Aikyo gonna hunt him down. Bye-bye goes Nemesis. Getting shot in the back, but Aikyo smartly able to dodge most and even slip into the water to stay up.
And it's funny too, there's a little bit of an effect going on from the top of the map, and it's pushing everybody down into Gentlemates even more. You got G2 pushing into Falcons, that's pushing them into Fnatic, and Fnatic into JDG, all the way down to Living Quarters. A little bit of a trickle-down effect coming out of G2, starting to work their way from Bio.
Yeah, I mean, G2 from Bio fully alone, like you mentioned, can send their fraggers out into industries and go play into Turbine. They can go into prison. They can go into Kim and mess with the Falcons. Like, they can pretty much do whatever they want, which is why G2 have been so strong on a map like this. This is where they started to really come online. But G2 are already online, which is scary for everybody else. We stick with JDG for a moment just to see, as they get their loadouts, what they decide to do from here. I'd love to take a look. Maybe some of the other rosters around HQ, NIP, not getting anything for free this time around. And for fun, another big question, right? They usually land Turbine, but they're not challenging AGAL. They don't feel confident there. Instead, they're playing out of Control Center right now. They're trying to stabilize. And unfortunately, they are off balance. They are on their heels.
It's all out of sorts. Yesterday was prison for them. Today it's Control, and you see how that's going for this squad. They're going to be in the water trying to regain. It's Gooey and Co in Control, trying to work their way all the way to the top. You still got Godlike to worry about, though, as they were owning their position on the docks. And no, Katsu!
Unfortunately, yes, that was the right play. You're waiting for the self-revive so you could get credit for the kill. You didn't know the teammate was right there. Woo, a little greedy, and you get punished for it. Let's swing back over. Just a quick look at G2, who is making sure AGAL stay in their place, which is Turbine. Classic fights here for AGAL. Uncontested in Turbine. Fraggers go out. Can't find him at Bio, so they find some regainers. Down goes another player. Knight finds his first.
Falcons are still a little scared here, so see what they can do down in Cam. We look at our leaderboard, still top 5, looking exactly the same as what we saw before. Godlike moved their way up, Falcons moved their way down a little bit, so see what those bottom teams can do as they try to get away from elimination on day 2.
Falcons still, gee whiz, man. Can I get some FMJ in the chat? Holy, Gooey down, and I believe that's our first team wipe confirmed. Kazu and Co, they're out of here. Dewey gone, 16th place. Missing out on a ton of points that they desperately need. Our new zone, you saw it on the map, is now you find Scumming over the top. He's pushing at Hair more north, so Leviathan moving to living quarters. They're going to be fighting against Gentlemates pretty aggressively for a place on the south side of the map. The Falcons are fine. I know you see their fraggers going down. I know you see them in trouble. Their anchor is chilling in Chemical. If G2 can sniff this out, they could potentially make a huge swing to try to wipe the Falcons, but unlikely considering G2's position as of current. Their anchor does have to go somewhere, though.
G2, yesterday, they were more prone to moving north side to Turbine to take on AGAL late game. And that was where AGAL were finding some issues. So will that happen again? Leviathan sitting in the tent. They're going to be pushing into the mates.
As expected, but this time it's going to be for fun. Esports still desperately trying to find a home.
Mates leave.
Yeah, it's going to be a pitch. The mates have to fall back to their anchor because they feel the pressure of for fun. If Leviathan hear these shots, they should swing on this, but they're not moving fast enough as Aikyo takes down flank. And it does look like Orchid has been wiped. Orchid's gone.
Orchid's gone from prison. And my question is that if Gentlemates full send this, if they lose something, what does NIP do from headquarters?
NIP have totally won back HQ. They should just sit there on height. As Criminal God, L1R1, baby, just holding the line. Some folks in the water behind him trying to regain. Again, that's For Fun, who are desperately trying to clutch at anything they can get their hands on before they fall off the cliff of the leaderboard. Here's a quick look at NIP. They've been in control of the headquarters for the most part. There's been some early contests, but for now, there's basically nobody around this area at all. Nobody even hardly in prison. So they've just got this huge high ground position to get a bunch of intel more than anything else.
G2, they've done it. They've pushed Turbine away. AGAL are gone into the waters, so they're going to have to regain. And G2 now getting sent all the way in by Gamex, so they're going to try to be holding on to this power position at the top of the map.
Yeah, that Turbine look would be nice because G2 are trying to find a new home. Doing a pretty good job. Quick look at JDG. Holding factory side. You can see the Gentlemates still in living, but creeping further and further south. Going to play through factory potentially to work their way to mid-map.
Oh my goodness.
Slappy getting hit from distance, but everything's fine for them.
It's Gamex now who've taken G2 out, so there's a huge battle going on between AGAL, Gamex, and G2. Nobody's owning this power position.
Yeah, I mean, to be clear, G2, their anchor's in industry, so they're chilling in industry, but they get shoved out of turbines. It's a great shot. Quick look at control, though, as Levi, Nemesis, they've taken back their home. Control center is theirs. Going to be fighting Godlike for it. Godlike still have their anchor on the boat, so it's a 2v3 at control if they want it.
Ring's going to start closing next minute. Team's going to start to condense into the top 13. If you can stay alive to top 10, that is going to be big to get into it. We got the fire sale, so you can start to take some risks and have a chance to buy your team back for free.
Big look. Falcons still safe in Chem, but only for a moment. Hisoka's going to have to move from Chemical, swing over to G2. There they go. Fraggers getting aggressive. They're trying to clear a pathway, find their way to a new home as Chemical is being taken out by the zone. They're going to try to find their way to the other side of the map. Let's listen in with the Falcons and see who they can hunt down.
Yeah, we have to play this quick.
Yeah, one's left right. Left right, going out right here on the box right here. He's stuck on the box left right. Hit him a little bit. He's running back. One shot, knocked him.
Okay, this guy's second, by the way.
Yeah, he's trying to get on the buy.
I can't.
All right, I'm cutting the buy.
Okay.
On the buy, dead.
Nice, good job.
What is this guy?
Nice! I'm playing down low. Look,
yo, listen, that's a fake point, okay? Listen, that's a fake point.
I hear you. They're both second, Chris, okay?
Yo, Ed, I'm on the roof right now, Ed.
I could try.
These guys who resing on me, I have to take this one. Who's resing on me? I'm cracking the deep shot. Yo, these guys are chilling good.
Yeah, I'm back.
I'm taking one. Okay, hold on, I'm playing slow.
One shot.
Buy him back. I have you.
I'm wrapping back for a sec. I'm gonna
kill this kid. Kill this kid. Yes, kill this kid. Don't let him regain. I hear you. I'm kind of stuck here.
I'm diving on it. I'm landing on my right.
Landing on the loadout. I gotta land Indy. I gotta land Kim. I'm getting shot from him. I don't have another advance. That was last one, bro. I died.
Pull up. Just give me a sec. I'm riding. I'm trying to get one.
I'm trying to open crate to him, bro.
A big play turned catastrophic. The Falcons full send G2. They wipe all three, or at least it looked like it, but one regain and the others taking down Hisoka. Hisoka has to regain, and then the rest, the fraggers get cut down as well. Hisoka's only place that he could find home is the very edge of chemical engineering, trying to regain for his team. A great play by G2, the last player up in the skies when we got that false positive full scent where Hisoka was trying to rotate to, which was Industries.
So we went a whole circle and didn't lose a single team there. G2, what a regain from that squad. But now that things are closing in, this is about to get weird because G2 are moving into the prison. But while they do that, they're actually getting flanked by three trios. You got AGAL, For Fun, and Godlike still behind you.
G2 trying to make their way into prison, but of course Kappa on screen. Gamax actually on a bit of heater, and they need it. Actually gonna find the backside of G2, but they lose the gunfight. Big man, talk whatever heat you want about Big Man. He's gunning people today.
He was gunning people yesterday too. Top fragger for G2 when everybody thought it was going to be anxiety. So continuing that in day number 2, G2 are in the prison and they're going nowhere.
JDG down 13th place. The Gentlemates continue to be the thorn in the side of JDG today as For Fun have regained somehow into Turbine. This is their original drop spot. Back in the past, this is their home. They know how to play it well, and it's showcasing on main right now. They're pushing out Godlike. Godlike down to a solo deep in the water.
Fnatic, Falcons, Gentlemates, as well as Vicious, all going to be playing towards the bottom of Harbor to see who's going to own the bottom side of this map. And for Falcons, that is not good because it's still Vicious there.
Big win from Ahsoka. The Vicious getting punished as Pret last alive for his team and will get cut down. A little bit of help for Enkyo. We lose a couple teams at the same time. AGAL out of here, 10th place, get a little multi. Not sure how many kills they had. Not the same Rebirth Island we saw from them yesterday, but we're into the top 10 situation and we are going to prison, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see who can make it inside.
We got Godlike being pushed up by For Fun, who are sitting in the tunnels below prison. Godlike underneath the trees, Nemesis towards command, and you can see For Fun are gonna have to take on all of it.
A big fight off screen. The Little Prince, Enkyo, is alone. Look at the mini-map. Gentlemates have 2 mid-prison in WinCon. Enkyo left the map, swung over, took down 2/3 of the Falcons, and is still hunting for the last.
Just clip their wings.
He's at 9.
9 kills for Enkyo. See if he can get back to his team. But now NIP have to move out of headquarters, and it's going to be a wounded Gentlemates that they're looking to take down.
Deep into the new zone. Gentlemates down to 2, and Enkyo fighting through the gas. For Fun on potentially the first heater that we've seen from them in the entire group stage when they needed it most. Having a great game. They need the multi though. G2 somehow still alive. In through mid-map, they've lost a couple players, but Enkyo is well inside the gas at this point, using every piece of resources he can to fight for his life and make it into New Doggy. Still holding, but look at New Zone. It goes all the way back to HQ. It goes all the way back to Grandma's.
And right away, look at Nemesis. Nemesis just want to go down the hill into headquarters. Gentlemate's going to go as well. You do see in the leather elimination, Criminal God are going to be taking them down, and this is about to get weird through the prison.
Dongi is solo. If there's anybody that can do it, it's certainly Dongi, but he's got to fight tooth and nail through 7 other teams to even make it to New. Enkyo, he went out so early, got blessed with his own pull. He'll be first to the party over here, but he is by himself. Footsteps, unfortunate timing. Nate comes through a little bit too early, and Vision NIP take down the Gentlemates in 8. A lot more fighting at hand as the Falcons go down in 7. No multipliers for either of those 2 teams. G2 somehow still in this lobby and somehow still finding kills as Leviathan find their way to 6. We've made it to the top 5.
Yeah, G2 going to be in a great position here. There's only one team, though, that has a trio, and it's going to be Nemesis, who had that early rotation over towards HQ, looking to gatekeep teams as everybody moves in, and it's another circle pull now to the left of headquarters. G2 get wiped. We're down to just 3 trios left.
NIP, a solo. Nemesis, a chance to do the unthinkable. Godlike is our 3rd and final team. Remember, Godlike was in a big fight Turbine. They lost it to For Fun. They sent one through the water, and now they're down to 1. Intex, unfortunately, totally lost on where Limax was. Great angle over the top, and Vision actually even closer to him. So unfortunate rotation, a bad play call, but Godlike's still in it, at least for now. Oh, they get the buyback too. Godlike have 2 now, 1 in the air. Gonna get the intel of where Vision's at, gonna get the intel of where all 3 members of Nemesis are.
Vision wins it.
Vision picks up 1, Limax picks up the other. Godlike out of here. It's just a matter of time for the team in 13th place. You might have said that day 1 felt like it went to script to you. I disagree, but day 2, not one person can argue things are going to script. The teams at the bottom of the leaderboard are pushing their way towards the top. It is anybody's game, but NIP, it just feels like a matter of time.
Yeah, Vision is just going to look for Hook. He can take down Bray. Knocked. That's going to be a full as well, so extra KP goes to the send, and he tried to force the 1v1, but Nemesis from down under on top of game number 3.
Great job from Nemesis to finally get a win. These guys win APAC. They win the region with like 450 points. They go giant in a region that doesn't feel like it has the caliber of teams that the rest do. And they've been quiet here on LAN until this moment. Some returning competitors. Seen Limax compete for years, even at EWC, and he's putting up solid numbers here in a map where they desperately need it. 13th place should jump up well inside the single digits, maybe to 9th, maybe to 8th. Only time will tell. Let's listen in.
Nice.
Come on, Bird. We needed that shit, man.
Honestly, when you need a two-piece, I'll drop a two-piece content. It's kind of fucking terrible.
You guys are the fucking guys.
Oh my fucking
We needed that
God.
shit.
They needed it, and they got it, Seymour. Great win.
2 points away from Fnatic, 4 points away from For Fun Esports, 7 points away from the Vicious Esports. That is an opportunity for Nemesis to move up the rankings, to move into a spot away from eliminations. Do they push Fnatic into that bottom 3 spot? Sure. We're going to be looking at those standings very soon.
Yeah, and remember that they finished yesterday in 13th place, tied with Leviathan at only 54.6 points through 6 maps. They likely just picked up a 30-plus bomb, so a huge turning of the tides here. Gotta get a quick picture after that one.
Oh, of course.
Ladmax looks totally unamused, by the way. He's like, guys, we just got started. We finally got what we wanted. We have so much more work to do. Stop taking pictures of us. I love it. Great job from NIP, though. We gotta give another tip of the hat to these guys. You gotta remember that a couple of these players have been on the podium at EWC a couple years ago, right? These are veterans in the space. I've been casting over Showstopper, who wasn't a part of that roster for years now, representing a couple different regions, actually, throughout the course of the last couple years of Warzone competition. So it's really cool to see these guys who, frankly, have had very unfortunate placements on all of our other lands up until today. War is on the bench coaching them, and they're crushing it.
Yeah, they're doing a great job, and I think that it's very simple what you get out of NIP, and they know exactly where they need to go. They go to the hot drop, they hold their hot drop, and they just catch people in rotation over and over again. Their slaying is impeccable, and it's backed up by some consistent placings. And I think that when you look at Rebirth Island, the fact that they get to HQ and nobody's contesting them HQ any time that we see it, it is just free for them.
That is what I was going to say, is actually that most of their POIs that they drop are free. This one, it actually was contested. They just won the early engagement and had complete control over it. It was the first time we've seen somebody contest them at HQ and actually get punished for it at the very beginning of the game. We got to head down and talk to the Falcons, though, and see what's going through their heads as they find their way deep inside of the mid-pack.
Welcome back to the main stage. I've got Noobs here joining me from Falcons. A different kind of start to the day today. Maybe not quite as hot. What are your thoughts?
I mean, yeah, we haven't had the hottest start, but I mean, there's still 3 maps to go. Anything could happen, and we're
true. It's very true. 7th currently in the leaderboard. Obviously looking to get into that top 5. Anything that needs changing? Like, does anything feel kind of different amongst the team right now, or is it literally just you know, switch up and go again?
I mean, that's just COD for you. I mean, sometimes it just doesn't go your way, but I mean, 3 maps to go, anything could happen, like I said.
It's a fair point. You know, you're currently 3rd in tournament KD at this point. So does it feel like you're having a particularly good tournament at this point? Or, you know, obviously your sights are set on the team results, of course.
I mean, I don't really pay attention to KD. I'm just here to hopefully qualify for finals and take the easy route instead of going to LCQ.
Yeah, that's right. Obviously, you said, like you said yourself, you've got 3 maps to go. But I want to talk a little bit about the kind of position that you're in right now. Repping the Team Falcons jersey, coming to EWC. How does that feel, man?
I mean, it's an insane feeling. I mean, we have the crowd over there going crazy. We can hear them. It's insane.
I bet it's a great feeling. You know what, Noobs? I'm not going to take any more of your time. I really appreciate you joining me here in this interview. Like you said, 3 more maps to go right here till we close out Group B. See you in a bit.
We book Esports World Cup up.
And quests for a grand total of $300,000 in prize pool. Build your dream fantasy team in 5 different games and track your score with live results tables. Predict the winner of every game, every group stage, and every tournament. Complete daily and weekly challenges to earn boosters that help you climb the global leaderboard. Got what it takes? Join EWC Play now.
One deep on the right. Low shot, absolute on the box, running back. Absolute dead.
On my low right.
I'm much about it, dead gas, flash in here.
Give it just low right, bro. Oh my god, bro.
I was wallbanging this shack for so long.
If I have my AR out, I'd probably kill this guy crossing to the hut too.
He's 1-1. Come the fuck up,
Let's go, baby. Come on. Let's go, man.
Can go, Grim.
Let's go. Yo, they're gonna be like.
I don't have any symptoms.
On.
Yep. That's all.
Behind.
One shot.
TSG.
Hey.
Bro. I thought I was one of yous, bro. The hell, they swung me.
Nice room, 1v1.
One more. You're so much better! You're so much better! Oh my! Let's go! Behind me! Go, send! What? Dump!
Watching deep right. He jumped up, he tried to jump up. Jump up to the spit. It's on the top.
Nice plays. That's what I'm talking about.
Good plays, by the way. Down on me, just grab space.
I hear you.
I'm plating. One shot. Let's go! What? Go! Bro, it's only 2 of them. Bro, I think he was my guy, bro.
Listening, as we welcome you back. Then COD Warzone Resurgence Championship at EWC 26, and I'm joined by Glitter. She's been running around doing club championship updates. We want you to come and join along because Falcons right now, they're trying to make it to top 5 to go directly to match point finals.
Yeah, we got to talk about it. And I gotta stand normal for this, okay? Because it's a club storyline that we've been following, obviously for good reason. Defending champs 2 times over, and this time around it's not going so well. So I'm gonna give you all a quick breakdown on what has happened so far. Overwatch, they're completely out. Didn't get any points either, so it's not going so well for them. MLBB, they made it a little bit farther, did make it to top 4, but then so they get a few more points on the board, but they still have not managed to get the win that they're looking for. They had 3 players headed into Street Fighter 6. The defending 2-time champ eliminated. Then the remaining 2 had to face off against each other and instantly eliminate 1. They have 1 player left who has made their way through to top 8. So they also have some more points on the board, but it is not going to be an easy journey. So if we're talking about how that affects Warzone, we were talking about how they were a top team coming into this. This could have been the title where they got the win that they're looking for to be trophy eligible 7. And right now they're just kind of middling.
They are kind of middling. Right now, they're outside of the top 5 to go directly to match point finals. Thank you so much, Glitter. Thank you for joining us and just doing all this club championship updates. Because for this squad, also, you can give the mic back to. Yeah, thanks. Get out of here. But talking about Falcons, I mean, we're seeing the Falcons that we saw towards the second half of yesterday because this squad is just currently not showing up.
Not showing up? True. Who is showing up? God, like Esports. That is a great first half of matches out of those boys. I don't even want to talk about the Falcons because they're just kind of sitting around. Middling. God's spell middling without mid. Middling and fiddling. I don't know. But Godlike is dominating.
I was on this desk yesterday and I said Trick Empathy needs some help.
He
got some help. Nate Dogg, Intex, both coming up. They're doing what they need to do. It's been literally a complete change. Now, we did see Intex on the timeline saying he played the entirety of yesterday with his IEMs backwards. So apparently that is the sauce to doing better on day 2 is being able to properly hear.
Well, I'm amazed that he didn't recognize that as soon as he entered the first game.
Minute 1, yeah.
Hey, shout out you, brother. Also, shout out Godlike Esports. From the bottom to our first page, 8th place. Again, consistency being key right now. Mates looking pretty good. Ninjas and Pajamas, not bad at all. But hey, a couple of stinkers down there. That's a shock, Dan.
It's very shocking. I'm more surprised to see how much New Icons is behind. We took a Group A, and it was at least somewhat competitive at the bottom. But for right now, New Icons just only having 57.2 points is really rough. But I'm also looking at Gamax and Fnatic. While, yes, they are down here in 14th and 15th, there's still a couple of squads above them that are just flirting with that line. So as we saw in Group A earlier, it can come down to that last and final game where all of a sudden those bottom 3 could just completely shift.
Yeah, and going back to Godlike too, we saw first squad in Group A being able to get some wins, but they just weren't as consistent enough. For Godlike, we're looking for that consistency that we didn't see out of Group A in first squad.
So far, so good. Same could be said for AGAL as well. They're also secretly and very quietly floating up the leaderboard on a rapid rate. Yeah. And Gorgo Knight, he was fragging out all day yesterday, and kind of the same story point. He needs a little bit of help, and so far he's been able to get it. Really good stuff for some of our teams that were on the second page yesterday.
Leviathan, another team that's slowly making that climb up, getting out of the danger zone. They're still very much on the highway, though. They have not found their exit. And that is a scary prospect as well. A lot of fans here, a lot of fans that love to get involved, fans that are making a ton of noise, and fans right now that are recuperating ahead of a very, very exciting drop. But a lot of teams still in this. We're seeing newfound, stamina coming into day two, and this is what you need. This is getting serious.
Something that we have seen, especially today for this group, is we haven't seen that much of a sponge point as well. We're seeing a lot of those bottom teams being able to kind of fight their way up. We saw it with Godlike. We're seeing with that a little bit with some of the other squads as well.
Well, I honestly think that's just because of the Falcons. It's the Falcons not performing at their level, right? When Twisted Minds is running Group A, it's hard to find some other points on the board. When Falcons, though, are struggling, it's just opening up so much of the map for so many of these other teams to find their kills and make it to these top 5 finishes.
They look scared. Like, legitimately, there have been moments where it's like you watch them on rotation, and the Havens Hollow, map 2, they're like northeast side, zone 6, and they're sitting there between two teams like, what do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do?
Come fight. Let's go. Come here.
No, and then even in the comms, map 3, you hear the comm listening, and they're saying, hey, let's not let G2 regain. And here's noobs crouch walking in a corner. Like, how about we get our move on? Like, we're not playing with the same urgency that I think we may have seen them in. I know I'm kind of fishing a little bit, but it just doesn't feel like the Falcons we'd seen all year.
It does kind of feel like they're probably dealing with sort of these quote-unquote random teams, like having Vicious land on them on boat, and it getting a little hairy is probably maybe a reality check for them that it's not going to be as free as they maybe think it is.
It's a scary prospect, man. I mean, it's like you don't want to change your gameplay too much. You don't want to make any crazy adjustments, but you have to do something now. We are running out of maps for the Falcons. We've heard the club championship talk. We're coming up on game 4, last taste of Rebirth Island, and it could be the last Rebirth Island they play in the tournament.
Yeah, for Shift, looking at game 5 and game 6, we wanted to see a little bit more out of Falcons too yesterday. It didn't end up happening this time around. If they actually want to make it in the top 5, go directly to match point finals, they have to make sure they make it happen here in the last 3 games.
They need to let Dongy off the leash, bro. Like, he just has not been hitting the same metrics he had last year, and I get it. Like, again, you're trying to work something out right now, but I'm saying you just got to throw something to the wall, see what sticks, and I'm throwing Dongy out there first.
Unzip the Dongy, let it fly free, let it run, baby. Because we've seen it again, those individual plays. The skill is there across the board. They've got the chemistry as a team. We've got the foundations to survive late into those resurgence rounds. It's all good. Unzip the Dongy.
Hopefully that happens.
Me too. I mean, maybe in a more professional sense. Go Dongy. Go get those kills, brother, because you're a top fragger for a reason.
Be that Don. We know you can be. For some of the other squad, Nemesis, right? Nemesis have been able to step it up so far today. They've been able to not only just get a win here, but just outperforming what we have seen out of them in the past as well, especially when it came to yesterday.
I think it's just like the Australian region at large, I feel like often just gets overlooked because the depth of competition is so thin. And we say the same thing when we talk about like the multiplayer side of it. And to be fair, you're dealing with a lot of players who play in both. So it's like, how much rehearsal are they getting? They're still shooters at the end of the day.
I mean, the 6 players from APAC have all played in some form of interchange, right? In the last 2 years, whether it be the World Series of Warzone or here the Esports World Cup, right? So I'm not surprised to see it's the exact same 6, but it just feels like you're kind of throwing stuff against the wall to finally find the teams that'll lock in.
It's do or die, man. It's do or die. You've got to make something work. This late in the tournament especially.
Yeah, last Dreams games coming up here before we find out who's going to be moving on to the finals, who's going to be getting sent home, and who will be going to survival stage as well. But for everybody currently watching at home, don't forget, you can put in your predictions. Go to the Play app for EWC. Put in your pick'ems. Let us know who you think is going to be performing. You know what? As we're talking about who is going to be performing, let me actually pull up somebody from Leviathan.
Great throw.
What's going to be happening here for Leviathan? Are you guys going to get a win or no?
I think we might. I think we will, because we're definitely worth it.
That was clean. Right. Leviathan wants to know if Vamos get the win. He has him on his pick'ems. Who do you have? Make sure you use that hashtag EWC and hashtag EWC26. But I know Lace is currently with some other fans.
Of course, my favorite interactions are the crowd ones. And as as an Australian, I of course can spot the Aussies. And I have found one just here. What's good, your boy Q? So good to see you. Obviously, we've flown all the way from Australia. And for you guys at home, that's a very far way. It's a very far way. We're obviously watching Warzone here. What team have you been going for in the tournament?
Oh, I've been here definitely cheering for Gen G. I believe in a Gen G win. Already qualified through Sunday, baby.
I mean, yeah, they hit that top 5, didn't they? So that must be a pretty good feeling. Now, obviously, we're in Group B. Any teams surprising you so far?
I would probably just say the underperformance of Falcons, honestly. We saw them win 2 games yesterday, still weren't able to get to the top 5. They had a really bad start as well. I think me, like most of the fans here, semi-hate watching Falcons and hope they have to play it through tomorrow as well.
Now, as a man of esports, okay, do you reckon you could 1v1 a pro?
Oh, for sure. It'd be easy. No problems. I have the controller. I have aim assist, right?
You mean you didn't take the job in, like, casting role because we're terrible at games? You think you could 1v1 one?
Oh, I'd be able to at least put on some content. Minimum.
I mean, that's the Australian passion there. Your boy Q, pleasure as always. Good to see you. And yeah, I'm going to continue finding the Aussies here in the crowd.
Bonnie, I have a surprise for you. Like this, I'm gonna give you this, but you have to take really care because this is super powerful, okay?
Okay.
So basically when you have it on your hands, okay, and you just pull it in the air, the people are gonna scream like crazy. So be careful, okay? It's a really important superpower. So, mesdames et messieurs, c'est un super pouvoir que je lui ai donné. Quand tu vas lever la main, tout le monde va se mettre à crier. So you can go for it if you want to see. Don't be scared, you can go again. Again? Oh my God! I hope you like it. I hope you like it. Yeah, that's right. Well, yeah, that's right. Yeah, it is.
It definitely works.
Yeah.
We have some other fans in the building. We got the Falcons. Apparently not. I think they might be happy. Leviathan!
And now, baby, everyone together. Are you ready?
We got 3 maps to go. Let's do this.
What an unbelievable break there as we got into the second half of Group B. So many fun moments for all of our talent interacting with the fans, but of course the Gentlemates, the loudest fans in the building. I'm sure you can hear them in our mics as well as we get deeper into this match. I hope that you're a Gentlemates fan, you want to hear them in our mics as we get into this match because the Gentlemates unfortunately did not have a great one. They're still in a solid position on our leaderboard, still in the top 5, but it is close, and I do need to remind everybody at home, you're looking for top 5 and you're looking at bottom 3. Those are the 2 bubbles. Everybody in the middle, they're moving into the Survivor stage tomorrow. Gentlemates still a top 5 team, but the margins are getting closer.
Kind of saw it coming though. It's the same thing as yesterday. You win game 1, game 2, game 3, not really the best results. But for Gentlemates, they're still high up on the leaderboard. I mean, you're at 147 points. AG Global below you, 137. You got a gap there. Then you have room for error. The best thing is right now for Group B is that a lot of those top teams are starting to slow down. I mean, JD Gaming as well. You have back-to-back 10th place, 13th place. For NIP, you got an 11th place in Game 8. So with those top teams starting to slow down and we get into the last map of Rebirth Island, a lot of those lower teams are rising the ranks and it's getting really fun here.
Here we go, Rebirth Island. Last time you'll see it here in the group stages. Let's get into it and see if any of our drop spots change. As quickly you see G2 and the Falcons go to their native homes and the rest try to figure out where to go from there. Gentlemates still living quarters and immediately getting aggressive towards Stronghold. Watch out, Leviathan may be in a bit of trouble, but we swing over to Nemesis, who just won a map, and they're actually hunting down the anchor of Gentlemates, who is in a bit of trouble here at living quarters.
This is going to be interesting because Nemesis have been tangoing with Godlike for majority of Rebirth Island, so the fact that they're going living quarters actually gives a little bit of grace to Leviathan, who don't really have to fight against Gentlemates right away. They're going to be able to loot up down in Stronghold and maybe clean up whatever's going on up here.
Hollow dancing, and dancing quite well. Unfortunately, Nemesis do find him. Gromlock able to trade it, though, having to back off from Leviathan. Of course, Leviathan uncontested down to Stronghold means they're going to come up and join the party. Gromlock shooting beams, though. Dad's got to be proud, holding his own, getting to cover. Gentlemates still very fine, still in living.
Very fine, very much alive.
Yo.
Criminal God's going to take down Enkyo. Gromelok for the trade. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. Leviathan going to regain back at strongholds and looks like living quarters. It's a handshake. Even Nemesis have given it up. They're moving back over towards Control Center to see what they can do with for fun.
Look at JDG, totally safe down here at Factory by themselves. Not much going on down here. A couple swimmers trying to regain. That is the Vicious, who are still deeply in trouble. As much as they've been a thorn in the side of the Falcons, they're actually in a position just barely holding on to not being relegated and kicked out of this event. They're currently at 13th place, I believe. So very tough, and they desperately need a regain against one of the top teams.
They've actually only been good against the Falcons, which is kind of funny. The one team that you're good at is supposed to be the best team here.
Yeah, it's true. For fun, completely abandoned Turbine. They've been playing Control Center for a while now, and it looks like they're finally winning that engagement. Nemesis tried to regain a Control Center and getting punished for that. We swing over to Godlike. Godlike's actually at Turbine right now with their fraggers. Their anchor is safe. Unfortunately, AGAL are catching the wrong end of a very hot Godlike. A frustrating day one. Day two certainly going their way. They found their way to mid-pack, but with their momentum, they continue to hunt down freebies. One after the other, they fall hardly, shooting back. Kazu in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, that's KGV now. V-Daddy, Kazu getting pushed out. Trick looking for even more kills after a Game 3 win. Godlike have left the docks, and when they did that, they take down AG Global with the help of J2, force them away from Turbine, and AG Global have now gone to the docks where Godlike were.
Yeah, big problem here for Godlike. You can see it in our kill feed right now. AGAL got pushed out of Turbine. Where did they go? They just full send Godlike. They saw them there. Let's go kill their anchor. They've taken control of boat. AGAL fully restabilized Godlike on their heels, but we swing over to the Falcons. Two fraggers up into prison looking for kills.
Well, we lose Gamax, second team to go out in game number 4. AG Global gonna set up on the docks. They push Godlike away. We look at Falcons, and they are trying to get into the prison. However, a little bit of a fight coming out from Orchid. They get denied entry to the prison.
A big win there for Orchid, who have gone mostly silent on our leaderboard, having some okay games. They're actually outside of our top 5 right now in 6th place overall. Just barely holding on just outside of AGAL, less than 10 points away. Of course, Ahsoka safe in Chem, as expected. Let's take a look at some loadouts onto the map and where some of these teams are trying to restabilize. It does look like Fnatic have found their way into Factory and are actually going to punish this Nemesis team that had a pretty strong start, but unfortunately are deeply in the blender. NIP send their fraggers out to go get involved in the third party. One goes down, the second going to be following up. Look at the map feed though, look at the news zone. Will dictate the next couple rotations. Do we pull south, north, east, west? We're going to pull a slightly south. Gentlemate's in a strong position in living quarters.
Nemesis against Fnatic, Extra, Volcom. Both together going to take down Bray. Nemesis going to have to leave the Factory. They move to living quarters. And NIP up top might look to send Factory, send their Slayers out, see what they can do in this match. JDG still sitting on the boat back of Factory. They don't want anything to do with these fights, so we slow down and we start to look elsewhere as Godlike have gotten into the Turbine and it looks like they've set up shop.
Yeah, Orchid is the only team even remotely around prison right now. Everybody fighting on the outskirts looking for kills. Orchid want to get their loadouts and then go get to the hunt. Prison is a POI. You can't hold the complete building, obviously, so they're holding the high ground. One up in Water Tower, the rest go to hunt with their loadouts in hand, and it looks like Orchid's going to swing off your screen, off the minimap, and go find members. It looks like Godlike off screen. They actually went down towards Turbine. Here's a look at them. Nate Dogg down. Regains coming in, but Sariel on the hunt.
That's good for Orchid. They kind of recognize that they're doing good at slaying around the prison, keeping teams away from it on the top of the hill. G2 are going to have to move away from Bio now, move on in, but we look over towards the bow where For Fun have sent AG Global, and it doesn't look like it's going as planned.
And remember, AGAL got pushed out of Turbine. They full sent the boat, pushed Godlike into the blender. And now they're getting pushed into the blender. For Fun doing a lot of the same. This is a classic regain blender that a lot of teams get into. Unfortunately, Scumman thought he could sneak that res in. Immediately gets punished. Juju from the top ropes. Slamming one, slamming another. Could he get all of AGAL? No, they've got one still alive, but 2 down. Only 2 teams out of this map.
And because you've left the prison now, or command center, For Fun have actually lost their positioning at the top of the hill, and Leviathan have moved from Stronghold into command center. So that is a huge rotation out from Leviathan.
Yeah, control center in control for Leviathan. This is great from them. Reminder, yesterday Leviathan got brutalized on Rebirth Island. Having a pretty solid map right now, working their way up into mid-map, able to play for new. For Fun still finding kills, but on main, Orchid gets punished. Anxiety went to go hunt, and he's able to find at least one, then get shot in the back. Pret still on this map. Vicious still alive.
14 trios. Circle 2 going to be closing in 40 seconds, and you can see it. Still a lot of POIs active in this circle. Don't know exactly where this one's going to pull.
HQ in complete control from NIP, and to your point from earlier, Seymour, uncontested this time. Nobody wants a piece of NIP. They're shooting 2 straight right now. Orchid fighting for the last remnants of the Vicious, who are now all collapsing on one another to try to get inside of prison. Still fairly central zone, so the next couple will dictate the rest of the rotations as Limax, Nemesis started in living quarters and now can't find a home anywhere on the map. Losing their life yet again as Orchid continue to rack up kill after kill after kill, and they're gonna find 2 members of the Vicious, maybe just chow both of them. A nice trade coming through. Orchid doing a great job finding all of their kills. Sariel does pick up that last one in the meantime. Orchid gotta be at least double digits between Sariel and Swizzit.
And Vicious, their anchor, just gonna have to wait and see, but Adrenaline's gonna get caught by Master. 5K, the final one through Orchid.
Does look like Vicious have a floater. That's a false positive. They're still on the map. We still have 14 teams with the Vicious deeply in the blender. Samir finding 1 member. Oh no, now the Vicious.
Now the Vicious are
Nope, another false positive. They've got another one in the air.
Oh my goodness.
The Vicious are hanging on by a thread. Reminder, they're the margin to bottom bubble. They're still barely alive.
Now they're gone.
Now they're gone. All right, well, down goes Godlike as well. Is Godlike still in? Yes, a couple floaters. Woo, all right. Juju's gonna keep hunting, baby. 13 teams on the map. For Fun need the points. They're barely safe right now.
Falcons are moving into the factory. JDG still haven't left the boat. Leviathan's going to get caught there. Control center not going to be their home. A lot of players going to be dropping in from Godlike back towards the dock, and they're going straight for the heads of For Fun.
For Fun are eating kills right now. Bubble on 7, Juju on 7. I believe Flank on at least a couple. Folks, we're nearing a 20-ball Jamal here from For Fun. They desperately need a multiplier. They've been in this position before on Rebirth Island yesterday, and they died about right now. Stay alive, friends. Orchid continue to find their double-digit kills as well, as unfortunately Fnatic get cut down.
For Fun, Rebirth Island has been great for them. I mean, last game was a 4th place 15-kill finish, so looking to go back-to-back with some major points. They got Doc under control, and nobody wants to challenge them. Falcons, though, they're pushing into the factory with JDG below them.
Quick listen in and hear what the heck is going on in a very important engagement.
Advance. Zip up. One's up. One, he fell down. Get it, zip, maybe. Yo, guys. Brother. I know, I saw.
They're gone.
Yo,
Top 10 again. Some frustration trying to figure out what went wrong, but we got to get back into the action. A quick look at the Gentlemates. They're down in living quarters. They've done a good job to win out some engagements, and even just getting on screen, the crowd goes wild. They're going to be holding out here what looks like the remnants of Nemesis, who are back where they started, and unfortunately immediately catch some bullets to the face. Nemesis having to work their way into new, and the Gentlemates holding the line on the south side of the map.
Living quarters not going to be safe, though, so you want to clean this one up fast. The only teams that are safe in the zone right now is going to be the remnants of Dock, just the edge of it, control center, headquarters, and the corner of prison. So a lot of teams looking to coexist. A lot of teams still need to climb this hill.
Yeah, HQ is where G2 has rotated to. JDG find the remnants of Nemesis still trying to work their way in. You can't go through the Gentlemates. You're going to try to go through JDG. JDG actually getting extremely aggressive because they're getting shot in the back as they try to chow this. Limax breaks the ankles, breaks the cameras of one. Can he get both? No. Melvin able to strike him down to get the trade. JDG still alive, but unfortunately with G2 swarming into HQ, they get forced out, and now they're deep in the gas as well.
Still got a rat though if you're Nemesis, so still looking for positioning in the top 5. For Fun moving up from docks into control center, have the edge of the hill to cover for natural cover circle. Where does it go? And it's going to be between control center and HQ, so a lot of top-down fights, a lot of high-lows, and not a lot of space to hide.
8 teams left, everybody looking for top 5. So the world screeches to a halt as Gentlemates pick up huge kills on the backside of Living Quarters. JDG deeply in trouble. For Fun, still 2 alive. In a strong position, but the problem is they've got a team right on top of them and a team right outside. Gotta wipe one of them, gotta wipe both of them to get into new. For Fun, in trouble. Juju last alive.
NIP down to 1, they're just on the top of HQ, G2 below them. Juju versus Orchid, 1 left for Orchid, Juju alone. Not a lot of trios, not a lot of space.
AGAL, haven't looked at them once, but they've actually maintained a top position in control center. They've got a power position. They can overlook everybody else. Anybody coming inside is going to have to creep down below and just pray they can stay alive. We still have 6 teams. For Fun falls. They got a solid multi. They had a solid amount of kills. A good game for them. They wish it was great.
Still good enough. 3 up for AGAL, 1 for Orchid, 1 for Nemesis, NIP broken, G2 still a trio, and it's gonna be Gentlemates as well, sitting in the tents, still a trio.
A brutal zone pull for the Gentlemates. I'd love to see their rotation in, moving to new. We know that AGAL just got gifted the zone, but can the Gentlemates make a huge play for control center? This is the play they desperately have to make. They go immediately cluster strike on top so they don't get shot. They smoke and run. Grom alone on the backside, picks up the anxiety. G2 not out, but certainly weakened. Hollow being lost in transition. It's gonna be 2 for the Gentlemates.
Look at this one, G2, NIP, who's gonna make the first move? Gentlemates as well on the outside. This is gonna be a risky one for NIP, but they gotta go. G2 still in headquarters, still outside of the circle, and it's rotating, but nobody wants to get into command center. Nobody knows exactly where to go, and there goes NIP.
Showstopper last alive. He's crouched out, just playing gas. They're all waiting for new. Sight better have an unbelievable amount of stems and still make his way through. Big Man, it picks up the kill. I don't know how that happened, but somehow G2, are they even still on the map? We got 5 teams left in the lobby. I don't see him anywhere, but NIP, they get the buy, and King AJ Vision last alive of the team, and they get high ground. Look at the new pull, though. Yes, Gentlemates might be down in numbers. Could make a sneaky exit and get out early and hold as Gromelot goes down. Gentlemates down to just Inkio.
Fighting for the roof, NIP on top right now, and Nemesis on the first floor. Orchid outside in the shacks. First team to move most likely will be eliminated, so it's who can hold the longest on the top of control center.
Orchid is going to be the first out, an early exit. Bray actually punishing AJAL. That's their first down, though. They still got 2 more. Inkio, Little Prince, can you make a miracle happen here with the crowd cheering you on? A couple go down. You clean up an extra, helping out Scummin. You're still alive. Bray goes inside, gets obliterated. Knight and FIFA kill, doing a fantastic job. Inkio falls. AGAL. We expected them to win this. Can they clutch up when they need it most? A top 5 position for AGAL, and looking for the first win in a while. A chance to take down Sariel. Orchid finally in a position to make a big play. He can't do it. It's AGAL. It's Knight. FIFA kill it. Scummin.
It's a big one for the team. Yesterday, Rebirth Island was fantastic for these 3. And game 1 on this map might not be exactly what you were cooking, but game number 2, you get the full send back to docks. You remove Godlike from that power position. Yes, For Fun gave you a run for your money, but in that scrimmage, you come out on top, and what does it give you? It gives you a full stack inside of control center, exactly where the circle pulls, even with a ton of teams surrounding you. They just did not have the regain that they were asking for, and AGAL stay composed to the very end. That is a huge win for them.
And yet again, NIP find their way to a final circle and a top 3 position. Again, playing out of HQ and getting zone pulls like this, doing a great job to continue to soak up points and maintain a top position near the top of our leaderboard. But AGAL, with that win, they had crept down to 5th. they were at risk of being knocked out by Orchid. That win is going to keep them assuredly into the top 5 and still well within position going into the final 2 maps to make it straight to the finals.
And it was a 2 versus 1 against Sariel too from Orchid. So if Sariel was able to pull that off, who knows what that multiplier could have given this Orchid team. But you see Scummin towards the end won't let that happen. Game 4 of day 2 goes to AGAL, and that might even break into Gentlemate's territory. They might be able to knock Gentlemates onto the bubble.
I don't know. Ankyo found his way to a top 5 position as well. I mean, they had a crazy amount of kills. You got to remember all of the action. Gentlemates were kind of constantly in the action, even though there weren't that many teams around them. Ankyo was near double digits as well. Both of those 2 teams getting solid multipliers. That's Gentlemates, that's AG Global, that's Team NIP. All already top 5 teams, all placing top 5 in that last game. Our top 5 is mostly assured. G2 was shooting as well. I know they didn't make it to the end, but actually, no, they did. They were also top 5. Holy cow. We said, remember Big Man is
Big Man was there.
They were just hanging out at the bottom of HQ until the very end. They get their multi. Ridiculous. 4 of the top 5 teams in the final fight. Woo! All right, Fortunes keeps next. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll be right back.
We were there. For every click, every clutch, every respawn. We were there for the years of grind. And we're here. Now. The proud founding partner of EWC. Powering the biggest event in gaming. Shoulder to shoulder with the world's best. Making history. Greatness deserves a stage. Lenovo Legion. Reach your impossible.
He can come in here and play my game. He knows nothing but go!
Tyler 1, you're done.
Une tour Eiffel, on dirait, non? T'en penses quoi, Sariel?
Franchement, on dirait une petite guitare, hein.
Ouais, une petite guitare, ouais. On dirait qu'il y en a qui sont venus ici pour dessiner, hein. T'en penses quoi, Suzanne?
Ouais, moi je pense qu'ils sont venus ici pour dessiner, hein. Moi je suis venu ici pour gagner les EWC.
J'aime bien ça, babao.
Welcome back to the stage, and I gotta say, Dandro, some of these keys are looking tasty for the cruncher, the crusher, the slammer, the jammer back here. And I'll say, we got some squads that need to make a move these last 2 maps.
That's a lot of words to represent this machine that's behind us, but I'm right with you. It was a little surreal to see Twisted Minds earlier send 3 of those keys into the crusher, but we got to send 3 more, and you're right on the money as we get ready to head into the last final 2 maps. There are some squads, they are looking at the standings, they are looking at their leaderboard, and they maybe are having some nightmares of that key getting crushed.
Other side of the leaderboard, though. Whoa, hold on a second. AGAL kicking things up, and I see my boy Big Man was just looking at me a second ago. G2 looking feisty at the top of the leaderboard right now. Who else you liking?
There's so many different squads, I mean, that we're seeing here. I like what we're seeing out of a NIP, right? Being able to come back on in and swinging. We said it yesterday, like, this is a team that's going to come on in and they're going to fry, especially on land. And seeing them, you know, they make that roster change, seeing them be able to get back in is really nice to see them kind of have that formidability to be able to kind of say, hey, all right, we'll shake up the bad games. We're going to fry out the good games. And that's really all that matters.
It's just that we've talked about this now. It feels like verbatim the last 6 times we've gone to any sort of a game break. What is happening with Falcons, though? I mean, at a certain point, we need to see that same sauce we got in the first 3 maps yesterday, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's a kind of a timing thing, right? You and I, we've been around. COD timing's a very real thing, and sometimes it's what happens, right? We see it in the middle of that game where they make that push into sort of a kitchen and prison, and it's just sort of just a mistiming. You think the players are probably a little bit further back if you're noobs. They're not. You throw the shoulder, and it's just like, oh, man, now we're stuck. Soka's now by himself. It's just, you see them get a little bit split as well. It's just, it's one of those things where it's like there's weird teams and weird spots is kind of what you're thinking. So I think they just got to get back to the game plan, get back to, you know where these zones are going. Soka's one of the best in the game at understanding how this map plays. We're getting ready to move to Fortune's Keep, a map the Falcons have looked very, very good on. If we get one of those western zones and they're landing towards that graveyard area, it's a strong chance for them to run up a 20-kill win, and we've seen them even do more than that in the past.
Other side of things, the in-house sauce that we're seeing out of the Gentlemates right now is palpable, to put it plainly. They have been in nearly every single final circle with a chance to win, and they're putting up insane kill numbers, including last man standing moments. That's good sauce over here for the G-Mate fans.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, it is impossible, I feel like, to play in this arena and not feel like you can shoot absolutely lights out on everything when you just have this many fans going crazy for you. We're literally sitting in the back and had to turn up the TV to like 80 because it's just, the drums are going crazy, and I can imagine that if we're back there feeling it, these players are feeling it whenever they get a kill and they hear this crowd erupt. They know that they have the Gentlemates behind their back and that they can absolutely just fly at basically anything and take those gunfights.
Absolutely the case. It's a big story. Fortune's Keep. A lot of fortune right here in front of us with the Crusher. This is all about trying to get this thing done. If you're one of those bottom 3 teams, the gap is pretty tight for some of the squads trying to get out of the bubble. Is it about kills? Is it about participation and placement? What are you feeling for those bottom teams?
It has to be kills at this point, right? I mean, you're not in a position where you can make it to a 1.4 multiplier and just try and ride that, right? You got to come on out. I need to see 15-20 from some of these bottom teams to 1.4.
15-20 is insane considering that some of them are barely averaging 5. Do or die time. Let's get it on with the caskets.
Thank you so much, Dandro and Shift. A great breakdown. Did you see that leaderboard? Ladies and gentlemen, AGAL pick up a nice win there. They move all the way up to 5th place. They got a 6.2 point margin between 5th and 6th. But the bottom bubble may be a bigger story. The Vicious Esports move into 14th. There's a 0.6 point spread between 13th and 14th. 14th through 16, go home, Seymour.
I got some math I was breaking down while I was waiting for this leaderboard to come out. For fun, that's a big map out of them because they break out of the elimination bubble, and that puts them into a situation where they're looking to go to the survival stage tomorrow. 7th place to 15th place is a 35-point difference. 7th place to 9th place is a 20.4 point difference. There is like a major gap here where like one good game, one good win could put anybody in our bottom leaderboard into an elimination spot.
Yeah, I saw Flank tweet out that, hey, I know it wasn't a great day from us, just trust, we'll be back tomorrow. They're certainly back. We saw even the match leaderboard, they picked up, I think it was 23 kills top fragging in that game. Remember, they didn't even get into a top 5 position. They got the 1.2 multi, that's all they got, and they still got 2nd overall in that map. So a big one from them, but it's time for Fortune's Keep, baby, and it's time to see what the Falcons can do on the Keep. Will they go Graveyard? Will they get a zone pull that is favorable for them? No. We're going to go to Winery, ladies and gentlemen. We got NIP. There's no way NIP land Winery for free, right?
Surely not after yesterday.
Oh, look, Falcons are going back to Keep. They're going back up into the Keep. Gonna go play Spoiler or somebody. This is where the Vicious cut them down yesterday. Will the Vicious win an engagement that they desperately need to win? We'll quickly check in with AGAL after their win, but we gotta swing up to Keep. The Vicious are on top of the Falcons, and the Falcons already in trouble.
I mean, I'm getting a deja vu right away. Dongy's down.
Oh.
Dongy's down, and so is Noobs. It's all to Hisoka right away. Has to play for the resurgence timers of his teammates, and they will come back, but this is a bold call. Yesterday, after our games were done, after we finished Fortune's Keep, we caught the Falcons. Their coach said, man, we were testing some guys, we were taking notes. I don't really think that they did their homework, though, on what those notes said.
I think for the Falcons, the playbook is, hey, yes, we go Graveyard as per the usual, but if the zone pulls to the east, we go back to Keep. Trust the process. Unfortunately, the process was not right, at least at the very beginning of this one. Let's see if anybody can get back to final form and stabilize quickly. It's the Falcons, and immediately I'm eating my words. I know we want to stick with this team. This is important, and you actually see the Falcons begin to rush out of Keep. They want to go somewhere else. They're going to creep across the wall. Hisoka does win his ones, though, and he'll win that one. Going to get ego chowed by the second. Adrenaline looking to take down Soka, and he'll get it. No! Soka's still alive? Soka wins a 1v2. Should not have gotten away with that one, but sometimes the Falcons get away with murder. They're back into the Keep. They're going to go back in and take these engagements. They're like, wait, we can win these.
It's a big Hisoka moment right there. Kind of getting a lay of the land of the entire map as well. It looks like Godlike was forced away. They have to regain to the top. They're dropping in, see where they can go. Couple players to kind of think about too is this Orchid versus AGAL team in Spiral, but we're going to look over towards NIP just outside of the gatehouse as they're crossing paths with new icons.
And again, Fortune's Keep a big map, but King AJ just on the hunt right now. We have an Eastern Zone, and NIP have Winery for free?
They're not even there.
One of the biggest POIs on the map? Like, good grief. NIP are chilling. Their fraggers are out finding kills. NIP assuredly being a top 5 team going straight to match point day. So we continue to check in with some of our bubble rosters. Orchid still technically on the bubble for the top 5. still battling against AGAL on the leaderboard for that top 5 position, and Swizen looking for some kills, will not find anything. Nemesis strikes him down.
Nemesis in the caves. Orchid, nowhere to go through Spiral. You got AGAL above you, you got Nemesis below you. You're completely shut out from this position, so you just gotta wait your turn to see where you can go. Still, King HA farming the new icons just outside of Winery. These players are doing exactly what you hoped for. And I'm looking back at the keep. It looks like Falcons were able to figure things out over there. They push Vicious away towards the terraces and outside of the keep. So it looks like we're going to have quite the battle around those spiral staircases.
Quick check-in with AGAL. Playing through terraces like you mentioned. Trying to still keep everybody out of their house. See what Orchid's able to do. Again, AGAL is in 5th. Orchid is in 6th. Top 5 go through to finals for free. Everybody else to the survivor stage unless you're bottom 3. The Falcons restabilize, playing the top side of Keep, waiting on new zones. It's a patient waiting game. Portions Keep can be a bit ratty. There's so much verticality on this map. And it's 30% bigger than our other maps. A lot of room to work. Can't be getting cut down early.
No. See where this circle can go. So we're going to be on board with AGAL back into the terraces. Circle's going to be pulling down into Winery even further. So you still have Lighthouse in the safe zone, Gatehouse, Grotto, the Cove, and just the bottom side of this keep. So lots of place for these teams to be.
New zone continues to pull east, just slowly but surely moving their way, and the Gentlemates may be in trouble as the zone pulls away from them. This is going to be a tough map for them to do well on. They've got to battle through everybody on edge of zone to make their way there, as the Falcons continue to hold the north and will be able to stay and keep for a while.
Gentlemates, this is exactly what happened to them at the end of yesterday. 2 east side circles, and they had to go all the way into the Grotto. Both times that blew up in their face. So I want to see what the game plan changes for them, and it looks like they're going to go to Smuggler's Cove instead.
Yeah, AGAL losing a couple of their fraggers, but still alive. FIFA actually winning his ones. Anchor holding it down. Unfortunately, his teammates getting chowed by the Falcons right on top of him. Scummin runs for, I was going to say the hills, but I guess the caves. Swinging back to Limax, looking for a little bit of action over the top. Couldn't hit hardly a bullet, unfortunately for him. Those folks are still able to scurry away. The Rats are in. Only one team is out.
15 trios still up. Godlike are looking to play down towards the Cove. They're into the Gentlemates. Godlike are making a play for this one. Gentlemates get pushed into the town, and that is big for Godlike, who started off this map in a poor position. They found their regain.
Yeah, Inkyo in a very tough position. Just barely missed that full sin there from Godlike. Edge of map at town, a very difficult rotation. I'll be curious to hear some of the comms maybe from Gentlemates as they push into new, now with 2 players up in the skies. Let's listen in.
Ils sont villas. Ouais, c'est sûr. Non, je suis là. Ok. Je suis top edge. J'essaie de trouver les armes, Il saute. J'ai une boîte de plaque, Ouais. Il push le L, Non? C'est qui que j'entends? Enkyo, tu vois? En dessous de moi, je crois, en dessous de moi. Ouais. Le clair, hein. Ouais, sous moi. J'arrive. Je pète pour toi. Craque le mec au fond, go. Vas-y. Fuck, mort. Nice, mon frère. Attention dans la grotte, c'est pas la même team. Ok, ouais. Non, je vais hit mon shop, je vais hit le colis. Je vous t'estime, mec, ouais. Ok. Ouais, en face, au bleu, weak. Go, clair, allô, check toi. Vas-y. Dans le bleu, devant. Ok, j'essaie de voir. Claire la droite, allô, claire la droite. Ouais, dans le bleu, je le vois. Il est dedans. Ça allait une grotte. Ok, viens, reste là, on va essayer de serrer avec Enkyo le top. Pour moi, claire le top, Enkyo, non? Ouais, vas-y. Je vais le serre. Il m'a vu cross, ok. Y'a un mec dans la grotte encore, crack, one shot. Je l'ai. Oh, il y a une balle. Oh my god. J'ai au-dessus de vous au cas où. J'avance avec toi.
I told you the road would be difficult on Fortune's Keep. Even trying to go back through Grotto like last time, going from west to east on this map can be so difficult, but they're making it work slowly but surely. I don't know everything there is to know about French. I do know go. It works. A nice chow, but they still have a lot more work to do.
Gentlemates on the forefront of Grotto. KGV backed up inside of the tunnels. G2 going to be making a play towards the keep, and it looks like Falcon's going to be on the regain up top there. Hollow and Enkyo going to finish off V-Daddy, and that is going to give them the caves of the Grotto for free now. Still trying to work into that safe zone. As you can see, Orchid gonna have to regain for themselves. Circle closing even more towards the center.
Same story about the Gentlemates can now be said about the Falcons. They've been put in such a blender inside of Keep that they have to battle their way through a couple of these scrappy teams to make their way into New. Worth mentioning, Hisoka does have 9 kills. He's been getting jumped on over and over again, but he's winning his ones. If he has to put the team on his back to get to the finish line and get to top 5, he will. So far, so good for Keep. First time we're seeing them pop off.
Yeah, Shiv said earlier to let Dongi off the leash, and we're seeing Hisoka really step up in that place. That is huge for the program. JG not going to be eliminated. They are still inside the lighthouse. They push Leviathan above Smuggler's Cove, and Hisoka is still punishing AGAL.
Double digits farming up on AGAL. They did get the double buyback in, so AGAL will be in the skies. We'll see where they'll regain in a moment. Gentlemates, yes, they've made it into New, but they may not be out of the trouble that now is godlike on their backside. Having to hold the backside underneath as they rotate underneath everybody else. Grom winning that, though, as AGAL going to try to land on them. Quick look at Leviathan. Big storylines for Leviathan. They're still alive. That's better than last time. AGAL deeply in trouble and maybe out of here. We'll keep that final confirmation for you in just a moment. Yes, they are gone. AGAL go down early. This is going to open up our leaderboard. They were holding the line.
Gentlemates are chasing Godlike. They're trying to get the full kill onto Trick, Intex, and Nate Dogs, and that should be an elimination as well onto Godlike out of this game. 12 trios remaining, trying to get it towards the top 10.
A great shout. G2 holding down the north now. The Falcons are alive but barely breathing. A solo on the outside of Winery while G2 are now holding the north. Here's a look at him. News was literally on 1 HP in a dream, and the Falcons are holding on. Noob's hardly even damaged to his name at this point, but Ahsoka's been holding it down for them. NI obliterated. Gentlemates, they kill team after team after team, just working their way into New. We told you the road would be tough, and it may be bumpy, but they're driving right over all the speed bumps of the rest of these teams in the lobby.
The road in France is a steady one for the Gentlemates. They got Leviathan above them. They got KGV still in the caves contesting them. Nemesis just above to the north.
Here we go.
Fun all the way up there. Here come the Falcons for Orchid. It's a trap. And within Winery, this is not where the Falcons want to be.
I told you the rats were in. Could you find a rat ear spot? Or maybe you could have just checked your corners. But either way you look at it, the Falcons still in trouble, but still alive. Circle still closing. Dongi's going to have to figure out now what the heck am I going to do?
Sit and wait.
Sit and wait for what? He is in the back of a truck just praying at least for a 1.2. One more team needs to fall, and which team will it be? It looks like it's going to be NIP taking down the Vicious. See ya later. G2 going to try to third party this, and they get there just in the nick of time. NIP deeply in trouble. One goes deep into the gas to try to stay alive just for a moment long.
Yeah, G2, if they can eliminate NIP, that is going to be huge. Here come For Fun, as it's going to be another third party in, but For Fun, they recognize that it is a full G2 squad. Nobody went down. They don't want to send it just yet.
Gentlemates still battling and working their way, but of course we got to pay attention to G2. Doing a great job holding down the north. For Fun, right on their heels, flanked. They need these points. They just came off the back of a banger, and they need to win the north, but the zone is so far away. Look at where we're at.
Yeah, they got to do it fast. It's a lighthouse pull, and it's going to be Leviathan fighting against JDG to see who's going to own this circle. Gentlemates, they need to make a play early to see if they can get here in time to third party.
Leviathan battling inside of New. The Gentlemates have made it here, but G2 wipe all of Orchid. They obliterate them. And Dongi, yes, he got his 1.2, but he's last alive for his team. He's up on top of them. For Fun and G2 underneath. Is there any way Dongi can pull anything out of his hat? No, he's gone. That's in 7th. For Fun fall in 7th. Falcons in 8th. We find our way to top 6, and the Gentlemates are alive. They are fully stabilized in zone. It's Leviathan. It's the Gentlemates, and it's JDG in the best position by a mile. G2 have a long way to get there.
Nemesis down to 2, KGV down to 1. Those are the only other 2s that aren't going to be at a full squad, and Nemesis are going to get cut down on the rotation. It's a pull towards KGV, and Gentlemates are going to be down in the water waiting for people to come down this cliff.
Yeah, this zone pulled all the way to the opposite side. This is actually great news for G2. If they want, they can go wide outside and play the high side and actually hold everybody else coming in from Lighthouse.
Top
a good
five.
move, though, from Leviathan. They're going to get really aggressive on the Gentlemates. Gentlemates have to fight from both sides with one member of KGV.
But JDG's right behind them, and they're not going to let you sit for free. And Kyo inside the huts. He pops out, taking down Leviathan, and JDG looking to clean up the rest of them. And Kyo, he goes down, and there goes Leviathan G2 above, looking to end this.
Such a great pull for G2. It was the only pull that could have saved them. They were so out of position because they were fighting for so long. Gentlemates will fall, but they get top 5. G2 will win this map with a little bit of RNG and some fantastic skill to win out the top side of the zone, working their way up the street and winning the game. G2 come online early this time around and also finish strong yet again.
JDG went away to stay alive there as well, but G2 just a step ahead of this rotation. Like you said, the RNG of Fortune's Keep. There's a lot of top-down, there's a lot of high-low, a lot of space for you to move into a final circle like that, and you just wait your turn, you be patient, and that patience is rewarded. Big wins for G2. You take down NIP, who took down the Falcons. You take down AG Global as well. For fun in your way, it doesn't matter. You also cut down Nemesis, so a lot of kills flowing through this team on their path to a victory. They ended yesterday with their first ever LAN map win on Fortune's Keep, and it was a 41-point win. I think this team just loves Fortune's Keep. They do it again.
I think this team's just dang good. Let's listen in.
Yeah, ping. He's there, Ghost. He's there. Swing him. Swing him. Again. Fucking baby. Good shit, bro. Nice.
A quick Selly, but overall, just well played. I'm loving what G2's doing right now, man. They have the confidence to take fights, and their timing is nearly flawless every single time. They get one tiny advantage, and they just full send. The signal flare that is getting a knot in Warzone, sometimes teams don't react fast enough. G2 moves immediately. Great play.
I had a couple of questions for this G2 team. It's like, how does Anxiety find, you know, some support here? Comes off the back of Big Man showing up on land, and man, he is showing up in waves to get it done for this team. And you're right, I think it's just the urgency to react, the ability to just read situations so well. This team is not only patient, but they just know when to strike through that patience. And you're taking down some big names on the way. Like I said, NIP, doesn't matter who you're going up against. You're able to control these situations, you control them well.
You've got to talk about Gentlemates, though. This is the most difficult zone for them to find their way to a top 5 position. They got a ton of kills, they worked their way through a ton of teams, and they still somehow got that 1.4x.
And it's the exact same position yesterday that failed for them again and again. So this time, it seems like the stars aligned in this match for them to fight their way through. That is a big kill game for them, you're right.
Gentlemates are starting to knock on the door of some of the top fraggers in Group B. I'll be so curious to see where this leaderboard is, and I'm sure we'll see that in just a moment, folks. We'll be right back here in just a second.
Map by map, drop by drop, kill by kill, we get closer and closer and closer to find out who's going to walk away with the trophy. Miles and Enigma here to get you through the next one. And mate, what a banger of a game. Many of our top squads starting to claw their way back into it.
Yeah, they most certainly are. You can see the Falcons are trying to get there. They're trying to claw that gap back, but there's also, you know, teams like G2 and so many others that are stepping up and continuing to put up consistent performances. It's wonderful to see, of course, if you're a fan inside of here, and they're not the only one, of course, Gentlemates, AGAL, and so many more making things happen.
Very, very consistent. That's the name of the game. Not an easy thing to do whatsoever. As you can see the standings on your screen now and some highlights across that last matchup. And we're talking about the Falcons. What went right for them this time?
I think that they're showing a bit more resilience. We've seen the issues with them trying to rotate. The landing spots are very interesting. We saw in map 4 they had this point where typically they would land on the west side of the map. They decided to go with the east because they're a little bit unsure themselves. But then they're trying to hit these long rotations that they're just not getting over the line in. There was, though, those moments of recovery inside that last map, so it's getting better. It's just whether they can get there in time to get themselves over in that top 5.
Is it bad luck or is it good decision making? What is it?
I think that you obviously have the fortune in the way that Warzone plays. It's very RNG based, but no one has ever been better historically than Hisoka at stacking those odds in his favor. Some of the decision making, some of the comms, some of the frustrations you see coming through right now, that's definitely playing into things. And I think the pressure from a certain twisted minds and how good they're performing is definitely impacting that mental.
Yeah, those farmers, it was good, honest work in Group A. Group B, though, still on your screen. Plenty to play for yet, though. We've got some big squads doing a lot of work there for fun, have a nice bit of time. AGAL with a couple of wins now, feeling very good indeed. Look at those body language. Look at those players over there. They're having themselves one hell of a time.
I'm going to be honest with you. I actually owe these guys a massive apology. I've spent a lot of the year talking about how they've been underwhelming, how they've disappointed at times. But a lot of the conversation has been, we've got a world champion on that team. We've got 2 players who have performed incredibly on LAN in recent years, and they're coming out and delivering here in Paris. So fair play. Definitely got to tip my hat where it's due, and they are putting up great numbers.
Oh, many hats being tipped across the world here as the EWC 26 Warzone games continue to roll on. Well, we've got a few more drops, mate. Of course, the standings still looking good. How are we feeling about sort of the lower teams? How are we feeling about them?
Some of our lower sides, honestly, I'm a little expansion region teams. We obviously want to see teams from around the world perform well here. You know, there's a lot of passionate communities at home that feel underrepresented and want to come here, and unfortunately we're not really seeing a lot of them step up right now. But there is one more drop, an opportunity yet to close that gap and get yourself into tomorrow.
Here we go, back to the casters. After this one, we crush some keys.
That's 2 handsome men. Thank you very much down there on the stage. A great apology to the Gentlemates because they are frying. Holy cow. Taking a look at that leaderboard, the quick hits. We're about to jump into game, folks. This is the last game of the group stages. The last chance for any of these teams to make a move. G2, JD Gaming, NIP, and I would even say likely Gentlemates safe. But moving into this last round, the only team that could drop out of the top 5, in my opinion, AGAL. They're holding the line in 5th, but there's teams hot on their heels. Down at the bottom, though, Seymour, really only New Icons is fully out of this.
Yeah.
There's still a ton of room to work down there.
It's like completely flipped. Fnatic, KGV still on that bubble. Leviathan, it seems like they've broken the trend of Vicious and Gamax. I don't think they've been giving us enough to reach that far up. But for Fnatic and KGV, you got work to do to stay outside of that elimination, where we might be seeing your keys go down the blender.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The last map of the group stages here at EWC for the Warzone Resurgence Series Championship. The last chance for some of our teams to make it to the survival stage, and a chance for some of our teams to make it straight to match point finals. Let's drop in. It's finally a Western zone. It's finally a zone where the Falcons will go back to the tried and true classic. They're headed back to the graveyard. They're headed back to the town. Let's see what the Falcons are able to do, and of course, the rest of the teams that are on the bubble.
And look, at Vicious aren't even going to be going to the keep this time. It's going to be a very, very eastern circle towards the southern side as well. And that is going to be good for Gentlemates. I mean, at least they don't have to trek all the way across the map like they did the past 3 times we've gone to Fortune's Keep. And with that, they're going to have a lot of traffic, a lot of early KP to be fighting for. We do still see some teams go all the way to the right. And it's still going to be G2, JDG, NIP, and Leviathan on the outside trying to work their way over to the circle.
Nice cleanup here in Graveyard for the Falcons to clear their path and have it actually a safe home for the first time, maybe this entire second half of the group stages. And again, when you think about the Falcons and what they need to do, they need a banger map. They need to win probably, and they at least need like 30 points, and they need AGAL to have a stinker. So watch out for AGAL today. Gamax desperately needs some points as well, as they're down at the bottom of the leaderboard. Look at the top right-hand side. of your screen. You can see where AGAL is. 167 is the score to beat as of current, and on screen, AGAL is showing us why they're a top 5 team. My goodness. Knight with a 2-piece on Orchid, who's hot on their heels.
I was going to say, that's the one team you want to be beating right now if you're AGAL. Orchid are right beside you on that leaderboard, and you are making mincemeat out of them. Nemesis in the feed, heading up against the likes of Vicious Esports, who just continue to linger around these Falcons. They got a vendetta out against these 3 players, and they do not want to let them just chill in a zone for free. They got Fnatic around them as well. Same with Gentlemates.
Vicious at least lose one. If they lose multiple here, they're going to be in deep trouble. They're a team that could get cut down and be sent home, unfortunately, right here, right now, if they're not careful. Limax, fraggers go out. They find a couple. Bray safe for a moment. Anchor still alive for Nemesis.
Yeah, Gentlemates with the early KP. Same thing with AGAL. Same thing with Orchid. Falcons have been quiet in this early drop. Foot to Graveyard. Haven't yet gotten to see them move.
Yeah, they don't need to. They were able to just loot back up after they went out in Graveyard. They're going to get their loadout, and then they're going to go frag out here in a moment. So everything's doing, I guess this is usually how it goes for the Falcons. A lot of folks starting to swarm around them, though. There's a big chance for some points. They're going to get one there on Nemesis and look for a lot more in the area. The Vicious, though, the thorn in their side, the Achilles heel of the Falcons is here, but it's just Souls. Let's see if they can hunt him down.
Nobody's going to be chasing down the Falcons, so they don't have to worry about getting third-partied right now. They're on the hunt to see if they can find this last remaining Vicious player. Doesn't look like Souls is going to be able to get away. Yay to the roof.
Good God. NIP off screen is doing unspeakable things to Leviathan as they leave Winery for the first time in Fortune's
G2 are out.
G2 gone. This is going to open up some point sponges at the top. Remember, G2 was at the very top of this leaderboard by a country mile, so no big deal. G2 goes down, except it opens up the board.
G2, they've done what they needed to do on day 1 and day 2. They're going to be seeing themselves to Sunday. They don't have anything to worry about right now, so even though you're out, you just get to kick your feet up and study.
We'll talk more about this later, but Juju showcasing the different team that For Fun is today. This is the team that we saw in the open quals. This is the team that went pub stomping. You know, points today versus points yesterday, it's not even comparable. These guys have been putting up 20 ball games over and over again, slaying out the lobby. A really good game here. For Fun is in a great position to still make top 5 as they find kill after kill on main from a distance. But in the meantime, of course, we see our new zone. It goes further to the west.
Yeah, it is going to be moving into town and Overlook. Still a lot of bodies over from the Lighthouse, moving across the Smuggler's Cove into the Grotto and Gatehouse. There's about maybe 5 or 6 trios to worry about.
AGAL, a bubble team holder, currently in 5th. Can they hold the line? Let's listen in.
These kids row out of Spiral?
I have no idea. I mean, we're all like, nice. You know?
He's surfing?
Yeah, I can't help you with that, Scanner.
This one shot. They shot me crossing. He's gonna try and jump out. I need help.
No, you should try
to the tower.
He's on the roof of Spiral right now.
I can try to get to you.
I'm holding top charge.
Push him to the tower, bro.
Yeah, he's going. Knight's going. I'm holding top Spiral.
I'm here at the tower right now, okay? They're smoked across, okay?
Yeah,
One already crossed.
Right here. Yo, on me, it's Spiral. They're fine.
Go. There's gotta be Orchid on the edge.
Yeah, that's Orchid and Spiral.
Hold them, okay?
Yeah.
I'm inside on the banisters right now. I'm gonna grab this bounty, okay?
Yep.
I'm on the second floor.
I mean, do you guys want to just get ahead and we can hold them back?
Going great.
Yeah.
Hold them.
He's still top Spiral.
Okay. I'm holding them.
They're hitting me?
On the tower.
Oh, they P8. I got P8.
Faster 5Ks on the tower, rowing in. They're on me. Okay, they're engraved.
A great callback from the IGL there, FIFA Kill. If they overcommitted on that fight, they probably get shot in the back by Orchid, or even worse, maybe the Falcons, pending the way that fight went down. So a great call from FIFA Kill, bring back the troops, gonna play together and work their way into new. But of course, we've got eyes on the rest of the map as well. A lot going on. To recap, only 2 teams are out. That's Fortune's Keep for you. Yes, the zone is moving into the water deeper and deeper to the southwest, but for now, 14 teams remain trying to find a foothold on some semblance of some cover as everybody starts creeping towards town.
Yeah, Orchid desperately were trying to get around the Falcons into the eastern side of Overlook. However, Gentlemates stopped that, forced them to fight through the middle into the Grotto. They go. still having to face against both AG Global and Falcons, the two teams you're trying to avoid right now. As the circle closes even further. A lot of water open, so a lot of places for these teams to rat out and regain, and Leviathan are one of those teams hiding inside of it.
Again, we're looking at Orchid, we're looking at For Fun, we're looking at Falcons to make a play for the top 5. Nemesis not really in contention, but they're desperately deep inside of mid-pack. A bad game, nothing really happens. A great game, probably nothing happens. For Vicious, though, they're desperately, viciously fighting for a spot in the Survivor stage. They need some points. They need a good game.
Yeah, they're stuck right now between Nemesis and the Falcons, so you're not in a great position. Even though you've had the Falcons number, still not where you want to be. Orchid go out. AG Global are going to knock them out, and that gets them into the safe zone and away from that bubble team.
That's a huge takedown. Orchid gone means at least one of the dogs nipping at your heels is out of here before Fun get gunned down by NIP, but a nice trade from Juju. Easy trade, easy pick back up. But of course, there's more teams in the area. Watch out for KGV, who are still trying to claw their way into the Survivor stages as well. For Fun, maybe in a bit of trouble right now. A fight that they desperately need to win if they want a top 5 position. Kazik from the backside, a great flank, gonna put For Fun on their heels, but Juju is fighting for his life. And he's put down KGV to a solo, a duo flying back in as of current.
And he's put down a PA just to give him a little bit of space between KGV so he can maybe get this res on his teammate, get back into a 2-on-2 spot. Kazu doesn't want to let that happen. I love this from KGV because it gets the confirm on the Juju and it makes their For Fun difficult.
Yeah, look at the map right now. You can see the Gentlemates. They're very safe. Haven't shown them because they've been chilling, just fragging. On screen, though, Nemesis in a big fight against the Vicious. An important fight for both of these teams, both desperately trying to stay in this competition. For Fun, I believe, potentially wiped, but no, we got floaters in the sky as Bray takes down the Vicious. Will they get full wiped? No, they've got a regainer. A lot of folks swimming around. We still got 13 teams and a bunch of swimmers.
A whole lot of teams in the water. Falcons are in a great spot, though, still coming out of Graveyard. You're going to have your anchor player safe and sound. Your Slayers pushing through, seeing what they can do. That's going to be Dongy and Noobs trying to tally things up. The squad's going to get wiped there, and it looks like For Fun now have been wiped. So that gives KGV some positioning into Grotto. They're going to be working into AG Global, and NIP behind them slowly trying to work in and regain.
Really the only team that can eclipse top 5 now with For Fun gone and Orchid gone is Team Falcons. Noobs not a kill, but plenty of damage. Ladies and gentlemen, let's listen in with the Falcons. The only team that can get top 5 with FIFA kill down and AGAL out. The Falcons, a chance.
Right, there's a team on the right.
We had all this space top left too. Should I start spacing it out?
We try to get in advance. How much Hueys do you have? I only have one. I only had enough for one. I'm gonna try to loot up too. We can space it out. We're on 7, bro. We need more kills. Wait, there's from my left. Back from my left. I got him.
Nice. Landed in front of me, yellow.
Weak. Yeah, we're definitely a little bit more aggressive, bro. We only have 8 kills.
Yeah, I know.
Top by cuts. There's still a lot of kids that gotta come on the ground.
Yeah, I hear that. So long
I'm gonna jump down the tower and loot. Okay.
Landing back left side in the hole,
Yeah, go.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I saw the guy. Yeah. He's in the yellow cut.
Yeah, I'm gonna play for y'all. I'm gonna play for these kills underground. I'm trying to alert.
Okay, I'm trying to keep this guy off the yellow cut.
I could die from fucking L though. But I'm trying to gamble. He ran away.
This guy's in yellow. He's just running around.
This guy's glitching right here in front of me.
Yeah, this guy's in yellow. I'm just trying to play for him.
Wait, one of them just came out of red right here. 2-2. Orchid. In the deep L. In the deep L. They cracked me.
This guy's still on my close L too. Or yellow, I mean. He's in yellow, busting doors.
I heard you. We should try to kill this team on fucking...
Okay, I'm leaving the kid in yellow then. I'm gonna try to hop up.
Down, crack. Right, one shot on the left to help. They're in L.
Yeah, one's on the roof right here. He ran. This guy ran on my ring. I don't know where the other guys are.
Yeah.
I'm crouch walking top of yellow right now.
Only 7 kills turned to 8. The Falcons able to stay alive and hold the top position. In the meantime, KGV are gone. They were a bubble team. They were just barely outside of getting punished and kicked out of this one. The Falcons gonna hold the line on the top side while the Gentlemates hold the line on the south.
Fortunate enough for KGV, Vicious Esports, GameX Esports, and New Icons are gone, and those are the 3 teams that were in elimination poll, so they should be seeing themselves to the survival stage. Gonna have to wait to see how that goes.
Falcons desperately need more kills, and maybe they'll be fed a couple on a silver spoon. We check in quickly with the Gentlemates. Again, they are safe on the south side. They're in the best position to win this game, just holding the final circle, but they've already made it to top 5. They've already made it straight to the match point finals. This is insult to injury, and this is to prevent the Falcons from making it to a top 5 position.
JDG going to be working in through the top of town. Falcons in between them. Right alongside them is going to be new icons. So a little bit of quick to the jump will be JDG to see if they can work into a position to take on these Falcons.
Falcons have to play for this. They desperately need the kills. JDG find a couple, but Donkey's going to find one. Looking for the second. Hiding in the back corner. JDG run to the hills and deep into the gas to try to stay alive. The Falcons low on health, but deep in the gas because they have to clean up this final player. They need to win the North so they can actually hope and pray for, yes, a top 5 position, but even pray for a win. They get FLS. No, they got a buyback right as he goes down. JDG have one player still up in the skies. Yes, the Falcons have won the North, but look who's holding him. It's Nemesis and the Gentlemates in zone. Our new zone is in the water, Seymour. We're going to the beaches.
Nobody's looking for the Falcons right now. Not even Nemesis is going to be paying attention to him, so the Falcons are getting a free rotate. No, Bray's going to turn around.
Doggy finds an angle. The Falcons in trouble. They desperately need a top 5. They have to stay alive. We're still at 6. Who can it be? They will take matters into their own hands. Down goes another team, and finally the Falcons get a nice multiplier, but more needs to be made. They need more points. They don't have enough kills yet, and it's going to be entirely on Dongy's shoulders. Melvin's still alive. Can he win the gunfight? No. Dongy's still up. Inkyo wins his. We're down to the final 3. It's Falcons versus Gentlemates, and somehow Nemesis still in this.
Nemesis with 2, Gentlemates with 3. Falcons at the bottom of the hill. It's just going to be Dongy to try to get it done, to try to claw his way and crawl his way into top 5.
The Gentlemates, near top of the leaderboard, will shut the door on the Falcons. We'll let the mathematicians do the work, but you can hear the crowd. The Gentlemates are going to win the final map of the day. For the boys, the first and last map, they've done it.
They've gotten their way all the way into top 5 to represent their home crowd on the championship Sunday for the champs of WRS. This means a lot for the French fans, but it means even more for these players who all year have been dodging that podium finish to hopefully do it at home.
It's still group stages, ladies and gentlemen, but the crowd makes it feel like so much more. If we take a look back on their win, it was utter chaos underground, and Dongy wins his one. They found a sizable amount of kills in the final circle, and they do get their top 5 finish. Let's listen into the win, though.
Nice. Remonte. On va remonter. Il est au rocher, deep. Nice! Let's go, les gars! Let's go!
Nice celebration. It feels like everything is finally coming together for the Gentlemates. But of course, we have to turn back our attention to the win conditions today. The bubbles. Who's top 5? Who's bottom 3? Who's going home and not even able to play in their survivor stages? I don't know if the Falcons did enough. AGAL had a okay, if not better than okay map, and they look to be celebrating. If their math is correct, there's a chance AGAL held the line.
And to see AGAL in the Sunday and Falcons having to play through Saturday survival stage, like that just adds to the storylines of EWC. Like that is a moment where a lot of people are like, I know, like the Falcons, like they're falling down. They don't look the same. They're not out. We know the Falcons' potential. We see it there from the Falcons' potential. And it's just trying to keep that together throughout the rest of the week for this team to see what they could do. Falcons show some teeth at the end. Not sure if it was enough though.
I am getting word officially. Vicious do not make it. Fnatic have dropped down. They were in 12th.
Damn.
Fnatic were in 12th.
Fnatic dropped down.
Out of here. And of course, unfortunately, new icons are out of here as well. Fnatic, the Vicious, and new icons will be headed home and are about to have their keys crushed. Unfortunate for Fnatic to not piece it all together in the final moments. A brutal game for these guys. They had a long journey to get here through the regional qualifiers and have had a modicum of success. But in the final couple maps, you can see the frustration on some of these teams' faces.
It's always hard to say goodbye to a tournament with as much prestige as this one. Heartbreak, tears, and the representation of your region not able to carry over to another day. It is not going to be a good feeling to walk away with your key and put it on the podium of elimination. But to find a champion, we need to see teams fall. And today just wasn't your day.
Can't repeat all the words that I just let lick red off of Braxton's face, but he said good job. Good job for Fun, man. Talk about tippable. Fun came to play today. Not an insane last map, but definitely good enough, man. They were ahead of Falcons moving into that last one. Falcons should leapfrog them. But you can see Orchid's frustration as well for a moment. Yes, they've done fantastic. They probably end up in 6th or 7th. But you can see it on their faces. They're just so close. One more good map, they could have taken down AGAL and made it straight to the match point finals. I feel very comfortable these guys will get there, but they just got to keep playing, and there's some risk in that. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Barney down on the stage to unfortunately crush the keys of the 3 teams that are missing out.
That's right. I was going to say 3 teams. I've got 3 players here who've just been absolutely smashing it over the last 2 days of the group stage. Congratulations, JD Gaming. What an impressive performance. Crowd are popping off as well. So, FLS, let's first come to you, right? To have, to finish out Group B in the top spot, does it give you that little extra boost of confidence going into Championship Sunday? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. We started off a little bit slow today, but got into it, and yeah, it's definitely a confident boost for Sunday.
I love it. And, talking about Sunday, a whole new lobby, other teams enter. There's a lot more pressure going into it as well. How do you guys typically mentally prepare each other going into days like this? What's the scope of, what you guys chat about?
I think for us, it's very important that we have good vibes and bring a lot of energy. And then, yeah, the gameplay speaks for itself.
It does indeed. Deadly on the dance floor. I like it. Right. Follow me. Let's go over here. Let's go over to the Crusher. This is the fun bit. This is the bit that you have to earn at the Esports World Cup to crush someone else's key. And not only one, you guys get to crush 3 at the same time. Step up onto the podium, please. Slappy. We're about to crush 3 teams, right? We've got Vicious Esports. We've got New Icons, and we've got Fnatic. Those three teams are all been eliminated from the competition. They're standing over there. Anything you'd like to say to them before you crush their keys?
I'm sorry, man.
Sorry?
Be done.
It has to be done, exactly. That's the nature of competition. It's the nature of the beast. Melvin, please, my friend, can you press that button? And let's open up this incredible crusher. The gnashing teeth, ready to chomp up these keys. Slappy, I think it's down to you, my friends. I'm gonna get you to pull on this lever and send these keys down in 3, 2, 1. Ooh! And there they go. I tell you what, Slappy, consistency is key when it comes to performing out here on the main stage. What would you say your team's biggest strength is? Is it the synergy? Is it the slaying power? Or is it all of the above?
I mean, obviously, we all know what we're capable of, so we're just staying disciplined and just doing our game plan, making sure we orchestrate it to its full potential and just playing our game, really.
Play your game, and that's all you need to do. It's all you can do, and you've got Championship Sunday to look forward to. Obviously, we're saying goodbye to 3 teams right here. That means 6 total teams from the group stage have now been eliminated. It's a bitter pill to have to swallow, but at the end of the day, someone's gotta go home. And so with that being said, it is now time to head back to the studio to round out the group stage and get us hyped up for the survival tomorrow. See you in a bit.
They will be going home, but we also have 5 teams that will be moving on to match point finals. And earlier at the beginning of the day, we were talking about predictions, we were talking about the play-out pick'ems, and it was none other than Lace saying G2.
I mean, look, JD obviously took the trophy, but by a point, man, by a point. And look, this tremendous run from G2. Obviously, Shift and I have just been getting super passionate about G2, but this is exactly what we needed and expected from them. Obviously, a very shaky start in the original group stages, even at the start, and then anxiety finally awoken. The beast within finally got his claws into all those competition, and I mean, what an excellent job that G2 did to solidify them in that top 5.
Yeah, and I would just say, like, the land performances for G2 coming in didn't give us much to throw weight on. And then you also got to think back to how some of these guys had played at EWC last year. Tremendous letdown. I mean, there was so much hype and buzz about what they were doing online, then all of a sudden they show up on LAN and throw an absolute stinker out there. So to see G2 come together and put together the most consistent results outside of what Twisted Minds was able to do in total by placement and kills, incredible stuff. So our top 3, absolute lights out. NIP, who had a great day yesterday, retained their space. AG, huge bump up to get to that top 5 position. Very tippable on top of that.
And that is massive for AGAL because that's a squad that's currently in the top 5 for club championship, fighting for more points. Now that they're going to be going directly to match point finals, it's a chance for them to grab even more club championship points.
Hey, incredible. What a run, man. I mean, and again, we've talked about it plenty. That Falcons position, they're in 7th place, telling of how their Esports World Cup has gone so far. For fun as well. Got themselves on the front page finally. Great run out of them. And Team Orchid, a dark horse, as many considered, and not a bad position to be in there at 6th. But still, that means we will see them tomorrow at the very least. Vicious, Fnatic, new icons. We'll see you another time.
Yeah, and I'm just going to point to Godlike real quickly because, yes, they had an unbelievable day today. They had the 3rd best scoring day today overall outside of the teams that happened to dominate in Group A. That's comparing to yesterday. They only had 43 points coming into today. So 100+ point day, unbelievable stuff. Yes, they'll go through the survival stage, but they should have a target on their back.
From 15th to 9th, not a bad place whatsoever. I mean, a dangerous spot within the middle. I mean, that was very, very unstable waters, both teams bouncing back and forth there. But at the end of the day, good enough to stay in position, good enough not to be eliminated, to see another day is all you can ask for.
And I mean, even Leviathan as well, we were saying that, you know, they were in that bottom 3 for such a long time. They were able to get out since match 2, but to be able to stay out of that bottom 3 with such a great performance today, obviously maybe not where they were hoping to stand on the leaderboard, but hey, they ain't going home.
Yeah, Gamma Experience barely able to get out of those bottom 3. That squad is going to have to do a lot more, especially coming to tomorrow, because survival, only the top 6 will be moving on to match point finals. Everybody else's keys will be crushed. One thing that we did end up seeing, especially in the first day, was the sponge points, right? With Twisted Minds, we saw it especially with Group A. Tomorrow, at least for some of the squads trying to make it to match point finals, they won't really have to worry about that. They will be trying to become the sponge points.
I might get even more closely contested competition throughout tomorrow. I mean, 6 places is not enough. I mean, look at how tight these games have been. Look how incredibly close this leaderboard's been over 2 days of play. There is very, very, very little room for error here. So you have got to make sure that every map counts to the most you can get out of it.
I think the other thing on top of that, and we saw this come through last year, you know, we only played Rebirth, and a lot of the contests around Control Center was throwing teams into complete mental disarray. You cannot be mentally checked going into tomorrow. You have to be thinking about nothing really from the first 2 days. Like, if you're a team like Falcons, wipe the slate clean. If you're a team that just barely made it on the cusp, didn't get eliminated today, but finished just outside that bottom 3, wipe the slate clean. Anything can happen. It's a brand new day at COD.
So last of season 1, Goldfish. Yep, get all about it. That's what you have to do, guys. You just have to forget. And I think many of our teams will do that. Many teams will do that because Warzone is live. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, you will have to forget those first 2 days for the squads that are going to be going into survival. But one thing I haven't forgotten, actually, he's still here. So I get a chance to ask him again. Detective Roll. You told me that Leviathan was going to get a win. What happened?
I guess we'll have to see it tomorrow.
Oh.
Sticker with his guns.
Fair. All right. I thought he was going to be backing out. Make sure you tune in tomorrow to COD Warzone Resurgence Championship at EWC 26, because tomorrow it's survival. We'll be crushing more keys, and we'll be finding out who are the last 6 teams to join Match Point Finals.